event here. When we get these Fed minutes from the last meeting in June, I mean, the only thing we have to really concentrate on here is anything that's different. Any kind of language that we haven't heard yet will be a market-moving event. I'll show you quickly how we are shaping up heading into these minutes, as the guys were saying there. Pretty flat kind of afternoon here. The S&P 0.03 negative, about 1/4%. For the Dow. The Nasdaq 0.37 to the upside, so holding in positive territory as we have about a minute to go here. Crude 1% to the downside, reversing an early gain. But it's going to be all about this screen. We will get this populated shortly here with what should be, as we said, market-moving event. Again, the most important thing to understand with these is that this happened a month ago, so it's just about anything that was different at that time versus the prior one. So about 20 seconds here. Just a quick note, maybe Sean and Arun, on what to look at as far as trading goes into these.
I mean, so I just went long just now into Oxy. We're going to switch over the names in a second. Yeah, that name's starting to break, but you know, I feel like I just want the targets. Like I just want to see what is the Fed looking at, what kind of a number are they thinking about for this next rate cut or rate hike. I keep saying cut, so that's going to come through. It's going to be 0.75, and then just an overall feel on where they're thinking. We had that PMI come out. We had a few different numbers since the last time we've heard Fed. Plus, maybe just maybe some talk about the currency, what they're worried about that. Because remember, repatriating U.S. dollars back into the economy. We've already seen Microsoft guide lower on that. So that's what I'm waiting for. And here we go with only 2 minutes to go. So we're going to see what happens here. Now Oxy's out. Remember, this is a prepared speech. It's just written, not even a speech, just written word. So we're going to see what happens here. The market downside right there. A nice little move to the downside here. We have Uber short right now, so that name could crack a little bit lower there. Yeah, move down, now back up, so nothing to look at right now. Big time move, a nice little move to the downside there. Uber a little bit down. We're $3, almost $2.50 in the money on Meta. There we go. The market is reversed to the other way here. So Fed minutes concurred that inflation outlook. There it is. Inflation outlook had deteriorated. Let's go. So that looks to be pretty good for me there, warranting a 75% point rate hike increase. So we're going to wait to see. It's just dancing here. This is what happens, man, in the market. A nice little move to the upside for Meta there as we ticked 169.50. But yeah, this is all for Brendan. I'm just sort of reading it as it comes through. So let me know when you want the call over there, Brendo. And we'll get, okay, Brendan now?
Yeah, we can go through a couple of things here, guys, as you were saying. So, I mean, it's just reiterating what we already knew here. So all participants judged that a rate increase of 50 to 75 basis points in July, most likely to come. Up here then, most participants saw downside risk to growth, including possibility the Fed rate hikes have a larger than anticipated impact. That was, again, last month. Remember, participants judged rate increase 50 to 75 basis points would be likely appropriate in July. So over and over we go, the same kind of speech here. Most participants saw downside risk to growth, including possibility Fed rate hikes, have larger than anticipated impact. So a couple of key lines there that are so far impacting the markets, guys.
All right. How's it going, Arun? Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know if this affected any of your futures plays. I don't think so. You've talked about not really trading off numbers, waiting for levels to hit, things like that. So we'll get to you in just a second to see if anything hit there. But for me, again, you know, look at this long on Meta down there at 166.50. We were able to hold this. We gained some great trades here. Now 230 in the money. I think we just let this settle down. I mean, I don't really think there's anything here. Policy could slow growth for a time. I mean, everything that you just mentioned there looks like we're going to get the 0.75. It looks like everything's ready to rock and roll. We did take an average into Oxy right now. My average price is 65 on oil. Oil's been ripping a little bit here. It's still down 1.5%, but it's been a good day for oil. What's up, Brendo?
All right, one more interesting line to pass along to everyone. Participants saw little evidence. Can we go to that there, Fahad? Thanks. Participants saw little evidence today to supply constraints were easing enough to help control inflation. So no sign yet that supply constraints, guys, starting to ease.
And I'm going to give it to Arun in a second. I just wanted to tell you I just got out a little bit more on Meta, so we'll go bing. Oh, here we go. Now we're starting to go back up to the upside. We got out of Meta just halfway there. It was like, you know what? If it tanks, whatever. I don't want to give it up, so we'll kick it out right in the middle there. 168.90 out there on Meta, as that one's starting to work out as well. But any opinions on any of this there, my friend?
I think it's difficult to get involved now. You know, we're in the middle of a range, and a lot of this stuff has a lot of whipsaw action. And trying to read it, I find, is just, it's great to know, but let the market tell you where it wants to go at this point, right? So for me, I'm just watching the action, see whether I want to step in on the buy side. On the equity, on the future side, because I have picked up some equity longs. I've got Goldman Sachs and Roku. It's not there, but I probably have to update it. But for me, in terms of futures positioning, let the market tell you. All this stuff is great. You can't parse that data faster than an algorithm can, and the market will dictate where, or the algorithms will dictate where the market wants to go. So let that happen and figure out how you want to play after the fact. So for me, that's great, but I'm going to keep a close eye on how the action is around 2025. If there's enough support, if I see enough buy-side action, and I want to play the bottom end of that range, knowing that there's a range, that's my play. We know that 35 going up into the 50s has been a problem, so I guess it shouldn't be surprising that this market is actually backing off these 35s and 40s. So here we are coming to the downside, filling some more longs as I'm playing on the equity side. Future side, I'm still waiting for a little bit.
All right. So again, if you've been watching, Mamma Mia, it's been a very, very good day for some of these fills that we've had. Look at this AMD long that we're still in right now. The kiss of death, right there. Not from a pizza, but right there, 73.70. We're still long at on AMD. And again, look at these longs, long. And remember when I was in these, I was like, you know what? Eventually, we're going to try to hold some of these longs, and we're still in it right now. As there we go, right back up to the high side goes AMD. As this market just dancing, it's not doing anything. If you look at the NASDAQ, and someone put nothing burger, yeah, that's exactly what it is. You don't want to overtrade these events. Like Arun said, like we've been saying, wait for the move to happen and then get on board. So right now, yes, sir, holy crow, are we rocking right now. Damn it, like I'm so happy that we're able to take a vacation, because tomorrow some of that money's going to be flying out of my account, but so nice to have this movement today, as there we go, AMD upside, man, $1.70 in the money. I said this is exactly what we wanted to hear from them. Consistent rates, they got the idea, the 75 is coming, then I believe we maybe, I don't want to say that's it at 75, but we'll see where we go from there. Look at Zoom, 60 cents in the money, zooming to the high side right now. On a recent reload there on Zoom, look where we got that one, 117.50. Okay, if we can get something out here in the 40s, we shall do that right now for Zoom. There it is, yes sir, Mamma Mia, again coming out through the little kiss there. So a nice move to the upside on Zoom, that's $1 in the money, $3 in the money on Meta, $2 in the money on AMD. Uber with the short, going to be your trade of the day. Uber, we're still in that one as well. If we're going to hold something short, it's better be Uber. Oh yeah, and by the way, just as we went online, I whispered to Ian, I whispered to Trader Brad, I put in the chat, I said, yo, what do you think about Oxy breaking the high of the day, 59.50? You know what I think about it? Bang right there, because there's Oxy with a nice little move to the upside. Now 40 cents in the money on this one. Woo! Look, tomorrow it's going to be Neil.
Yep.
And you're probably not going to get as much excitement from that. So I'm getting everything out now. So tomorrow, everyone that says, oh, Sean has too much energy, he puts on too many winning trades, all that stuff. Tomorrow will be much more calm. Hopefully more winners, and then we'll be ready to go. But hey, man, today we're rocking big time. The only losing trade we have today is Zoom. And guess what, man? Now we're in the money, $1 and change, as we continue to go to the upside now on Zoom. So we are just spin it around, put it on the other side of this, and let's see some bigger wins coming through for Zoom. Let's see if we can get back up to VWAP up here, 119.50, 120, something like that. But man, we are in the building as Meta. Adios, man. We had a couple, no, Zoom. Oh, okay, Zoom went to 119. Didn't realize we had an order out there. I was like, oh, tell me I didn't get wicked out of something. But that's okay, Zoom. We still want to be in that. That's a mistake to get out, but there it is right there. A nice little out for that. And then look at Meta, man. And again, I could just keep on. I could show you tomorrow, no sticky note, but I'd show it to you today. I mean, we already talked about Meta long all over this thing. Uber shorts, AMD. I mean, the ones that are on here, AMD, like AMD long, like we have all of these names on the list today. It's nice to see them starting to blow up to the upside. But all right, that's that. That was fun. Yeah. That was Fed Minutes, brought to you by the FOMC, and hopefully traded with you, with me, here on Trader TV Live. Let's go over to Brendan.
All right, there was a little more talk, guys, or worrying talk, I guess, about entrenched inflation and it kind of lingering, not really moving in the right direction as far as decreasing at all. This headline, an interesting one. I mean, eroding inflation being talked about, but they're also down here talking about the employment market. This was included in the report as well, which is a look at the current job market. Remember, part of the Fed's job is the employment side of the economy. Still, 2 jobs here for every 1 person looking for one heading into the second half of 2020. So tight employment and the possibility of entrenched was the word they used, inflation, in this report as well, guys.
Entrenched. You know what? This market's not done. Yeah, the report just came out, but this market's not done digesting this and wanting to make a move. Obviously, NASDAQ now at new highs, taking out the old range top. That's a good sign for any tech names. You see NASDAQ up 0.62% now, much more than the 0.22 you're getting from the S&P. So new highs on the NASDAQ, breaking the tops out, but S&P futures has not broken out yet, and that's, even though it's weaker, this is not a good sign for all this excitement about a rally to the upside. We still haven't cleared that 50. We need to get going north of that 50, and there seems to be a decent amount of resistance. Now we can still go. We can still get going. There can be somewhat of a grind here as we take out that 50. But until that happens, I'm a little on the fence about how aggressively I want to keep going for these longs. You see me in the longs, the 3 longs that I have, right? Adobe, Goldman Sachs, Roku, all in the money. Great, because I've positioned them in a location where on the way down on that pop, I was able to pick them up. So now, as it bounces, as the market bounces, these positions are in the money. But at the same time, we're not out of the woods in terms of these longs, because, man, this 50 is going to be a problem. Even if the 50 breaks, there's going to be some slippage. But the 50 is going to be the checkpoint that we need to get above to actually say, you know what, this market's going to go. Right now, it's still in a range, and it has not broken the range. And the fact it hasn't broken the range on Fed minutes, what else do you need to get this market going, right? Either to the top or the bottom, it doesn't matter. But the fact that it is still in the range is not a good sign for trading overall. But never know. 90 minutes left, or 2 hours left, actually. Not even 9 minutes, 2 hours left. We can accelerate at some point. Hopefully we get that acceleration to the upside.
Yeah, look, I mean, I think that's a perfect point there, and we've talked about that a couple times on the show. This market right now, I mean, I've said this over and over again, it's just waiting for the E to come in the PE, right? I mean, you're waiting for earnings to hit this market. It's crazy right now to say, oh my God, this market has definitely got the green light to go to the upside. I mean, it's just status quo. And I mean, and I think that's really important that we all understand that. And honestly, taking profits when things start to rip up and go into your favor, always nice to do. I mean, big time movement up there for Meta, 169. It touched 170, guys. Now you're back down in there. Realistically, we took it out. Like we have about 10% left, not even on this trade. So we're going to just wait on it and see if it can go. But look what's definitely changing turns here to the downside now goes Meta. So hopefully you guys taking some of this advice and the market gave what the market thought it was going to get today. Kind of just affirmation on what's been talked about. Oh no. Okay, so good thing we got out of that Zoom. Put me back into this name short now. We don't necessarily want to short. That was going to be my out right down there on Zoom. But as this market coming back in, we'll have to adjust this and just get out of that Zoom trade. But what's going to be talked about very, very soon is going to be the trade of the day, and that's going to be Uber. Sometimes, no matter what the market does, you got to watch out for names that have news, that have a catalyst to it. Okay, I got to watch out for some of these stop orders, man, because this is starting to come through again pretty quickly here. 74.6, there we go. We're out now of AMD. Okay, I don't know where I guess my stop would have been right around there. So we do get out there on AMD as that's coming back in. Oxy's falling out now as well. I think this is going to be close to taking another leg here. So let's wait to see if we can get something on this move here for Oxy. Like, we've already taken out some profits, so we're up on the name today. It's just right here, that's 59.25. Let's see what we do on this level here, 59. We do have a bottom there of 58.80 or so. The market, oil doesn't seem to matter too much right now. Oh, you can't see here, right here. Oil did make a move up there, now came back, but still on this 50 period and looking to go higher there. So I think Oxy needs to be reloaded a little bit here into a bigger long at this spot. So let's do that. Let's get some more Oxy shares here at this level against that 59. Remember, Uncle Warren there, or Grandpa Warren, I don't know which way you want to do it, has been buying this and now owns 17.4% of Oxy, right? I think it was something like that. So we'll wait to be exact, 17.4. Good little take there if it comes back down to 59.20. Let's put our order. We were right about looking at Oxy at least, but there it is back to the upside.
Yeah, market bouncing back around. You know what? I think I've seen enough. I think I'm going to dabble in some longs here on the futures here. If we come back in, man, we're moving too quickly.
Shoot.
I'll leave the order there. I'm willing to play in the 25 area, 25, maybe a little bit underneath, but 25 area, I'm willing to play. Just take a little bit. I just want to be a part of this in the event that we go. I'm starting to see enough action that maybe we take a shot at the long. Equity side, I'm going to keep my Adobe. I'm going to keep my Roku. I'm going to dump my Goldman Sachs. I'm not a fan of Goldman Sachs. It's been relatively weak even before this report. And the fact that it's actually not doing well at all. It's been to the downside. It's going faster to the downside. Sign of weakness. It's going down to it's going down faster than it will ever go up. And that obviously applies to the entire market as a whole. But when the stock is starting to show weakness on the sell side and you're long, you probably should walk away from it. So I'm looking at Goldman Sachs thinking, you know what, the market's rallying, let me get out if I can get this rally back towards the entry price. So we're going to dump that Goldman Sachs. We're going to hold Roku and Adobe and see if we can't pick up some longs in the futures as well. Some longs, not everything I want, just to start working a position. If I see more, then I'll figure out that, you know what, I'll pay the price and step up. But for now, I just want a little piece to start this trade.
Yeah, I mean, what really sucks there was, you know, as soon as that was happening and everything started cranking lower, I was like, let's check out our stop orders. And then unfortunately, we did have one on AMD that I would have canceled, but you know, we have to be, like I said, we're responsible for the trades that we make, and I did get out of there for still long 73.70, out 74.70, still $1 in the money, but I did re-engage in that long right now. So, you know, we'll pay the price there on 20 or 30 cents, I guess 25 cents there difference on the price where I got out and now where I'm back in. So we're back in there, a little slip up on that out, but that's okay. I mean, you know, that was going to be an out anyways if that did trigger. It's just on this kind of news and noise, it's kind of like noise, I feel like, right? Like all this stuff comes through and it's like, you got to work your way through it, right? Like you got to be that kind of like that silent assassin, like working your way through some of this methodology about what you're looking for, what kind of names, what did that FOMC even mean? What are the futures doing? I mean, you know, the way I trade is I look at the futures literally all the time. And I try not to be long if anything's below here, this 50 period. So right now, you know, we're starting to bounce up against the 50 and came back in there. Now you're looking at some of these bottoms, but we don't want to look at that bottom. So you can't be long forever here when you are looking at some of these plays. But again, I feel like we're still range bound here. So we will look to pick up some more. We just picked up Oxy on the cheap there again. Hopefully on the cheap, I should say, as we are looking for a downside move there in this name. So we can pick up some more to get near that 58.80 or 59. If not, that's all good too, man. We will take this for what it gives us. So we just went long there on Oxy, back at 30. So good trade there. We've already hit it out, but our average price now on Oxy is 43. So we're basically flat here. I feel like oil's been remaining pretty high up here. If the NASDAQ does continue to bounce, I do like this spot and I do like this name. So far here on Oxy, let's hold this. We'll average it back in until we get to about 58, 59. And again, reasons for it. Oil's been hanging out here. We know Oxy's a nice little play, especially if the market goes. So we'll wait. We won't be too greedy with this trade, but let's just see where we can go here on Oxy. Hopefully it'll pick us up long and then pop, but realistically we are below the 50 period, so we're looking at this 58.90. If we break that, then I think we can get out of the way of Oxy, but I like it, and let's just see where it goes.
That's all you can do, right? If you're positioned in and you're caught in this whipsaw, first off, if you're caught in the whipsaw because you wanted to be a part of it, that's on you because you should not be trading in the middle of a range. But if you're positioned in and this market's just in the money, heavy, and then it's flat, like you just got to wait it out. At that point, you're playing the range. Set your expectations, I guess is what I would say, for trading inside ranges. And that's why I find that they're a lot more difficult to trade if you're not versed in them. So me, not so much. But one thing I want to keep an eye on here is NASDAQ. Remember NASDAQ, 11,880, that was the old high, or 1180, 882 was the old high. We took that out, immediate move right back down into 11,800. So after breaking the top out, we come right back into the middle of the range. And now this market's, you got to wonder, is this a failed breakout? Because that's easy to take out stops. Keep in mind, we went north of 11.9 too, right? 911. So the fact that we went up 10 points past the 900 mark tells me that stops went off. So stops working the top end of the range could have already been done. We could just have a failed break from the top coming back in. And now I worry about the downside. There's so many things to factor in. That's why I'm kind of backing off this idea about the long on the futures, because I don't want to put up the risk at this point. I'll keep the equity positions, but the long on the futures, the more I look at it and the more action that I see, the less I want to be a part of this at these prices. If we get into the 15s and 10s and then we start to find some bids, at that point I can justify the risk reward. But in the 20s, with this action, probably not worth the shot.
No, and that's, I mean, the key thing you said there is getting caught in the middle, right? I mean, it's like having an idea, having a place to go here. And we are going to come up on the board and talk about Uber in one quick second here. Just, again, we are waiting to get, we already know the play here on Oxy, so that'll come through. Let's check out Coinbase right now. This could have easily been the trade of the day too. Coinbase up to 56 bucks. We talked about that level that we like there. And then just so you don't think we're kind of pulling this out of you know what here, there's 56 right here. So, you know, this morning, that was, you know, quite the trade. We did look at Bitcoin, which is still doing nothing today. 20,000, I almost said 2,000, 20,170 right now. So very, very limited movement there on Bitcoin. But look at this Coinbase trade, man. Came right up into this level. We saw Coinbase rip yesterday. Then today it came out. There was, I don't know, I don't want to say it was like a big downgrade or anything because it really wasn't. But there was a downgrade came through. I don't even remember who it was. It was nobody that big, but Coinbase definitely into the bottom there today. So this is what we looked at for Coinbase, man. It was for me, it was pretty simple because it made sense, right? It came up to that 56. We started the short there at 55, 50, 56, and then unfortunately my best out is 53.80. When that last piece, I thought maybe we were starting to go upside there a little bit, but that obviously didn't work out. But there goes Coinbase right now back down to 52. So yeah, this name continuing to be weak here today. Coinbase down 6%. And there has been a little bit of a connection there between Coinbase and Bitcoin and the NASDAQ, but today it seems to be disconnected a little bit because I don't really see Bitcoin doing anything as I look at this Bitcoin chart here. This is a 1 minute chart. You're still at 20,000 flat, kind of where we've been at all day here. This is a daily chart, but yet you're seeing the NASDAQ positive here, and you're also seeing Coinbase down 6%. So a little bit of a strange situation there. Why did I just get out of Oxy? Like,
Stop, maybe?
no, it shouldn't have been a stop there. Okay, I need to get more. The stop is 58.90, so I don't know. Maybe wrong key there. I'm going to get back into Oxy. We don't mean to be out of this, so I'm buying more Oxy there. We are negative on it because we got out there, but no, I meant to buy more. I don't know. I wouldn't buy more at 29 than get out at a 20 break. So let's buy some more Oxy right now and let's pay the spread, hopefully. Or no, I tried and didn't fill. So we're going to get longer Oxy here against that bottom of 58.80. So that's what we're liking here, 58.90, sorry. That's the true out. So when you see me out of Oxy, that's when we mean to be out of that one. Let's try the long one more time.
Yeah, I'm not doing anything else. I mean, welcome to range trading in the summertime, guys. Even with a news release, we can't get going to the upside on the S&P side of things. So here we are just waiting for this market to do something, maybe hopefully to the upside. Maybe we can get a good move going. I don't know. I mean, you take the shot, you take the risk by taking a move at this point in time with this kind of a market. Some of the best trades are just to walk away and live to fight another day, sure. But just be smart about where and when you put capital up, right? Keep in mind, the money is yours until you lose it. So if you gotta put some money down to play the game, and knowing that there's no point in wasting money on shots that don't make any sense versus using those bullets for when you really need them, right? So that's the thing with trading, especially that matters so much more in the summertime months because there's going to be so few opportunities that come through. So maximizing the one opportunity that you do get when you get it, that's what you got to do. So right now we're just going to wait it out. I've got Adobe, I've got Roku, and then I've got Goldman Sachs, which I've completely kind of given up on, but I'm just trying to work my way out of it if it can just bounce a little bit. But apart from that, I'm going to hold the other two anyways. And the future is now making another move back into the mid 30s, but this is what we're going to see. We're going to see bounces into the 30s and 40s. We're going to see bounce downs into the 25s and 20s. So here we are back and forth. Let's kind of just play ping pong a little bit inside this range. Once we break, and I wouldn't even be surprised if this market does absolutely nothing and then closes, and then overnight it breaks the top end of the range or the bottom end of the range, it breaks the range, and then we come back tomorrow going, oh, the range break, that would have been a great trade, except it happened at like 2 in the morning, and then we're back to doing nothing in the daytime again. So just be prepared, mentally prepared for tomorrow and what kind of market you're dealing with. But for now, back and forth we go. Just damage control if you are in some losers, knowing that we're in a range.
Brendo?
Yeah, a little anticlimactic to say the least. I'll show you gold, guys. Back to the downside, the ETF. Anyways, GLD back to day lows. Just had some volume come in at day lows. You remember these or this the resources right across the board, metals included, got hit pretty hard yesterday. This went down another almost 2% here, trying to bounce off day lows. While I have you, here is a chart of the 10-year. So the 10-year trying to move back higher. It has been all day long, but off of this release, another pop to the upside, back to 292 for the 10-year here. Quick look at a little more green on this board now as well, coming from the industrials group, the tech group as well, providing most of the lift here, while banks are trying to reverse, but still pretty weak for banks. Consumer discretionary, specifically travel names, all of the cruise lines here, 9.5% still for Norwegian, RCL, CCL in negative territory. Utilities higher on the day as well, but mixed board overall. Yeah, 25 handle range here for the S&P off of that note, guys.
I am like a little bit surprised there because with oil coming back down a little bit there, thinking maybe, possibly, cruise lines, the jets, all that kind of stuff would get going a little bit, but it is surprising to see CCL. I mean, we always look at CCL. I mean, Norwegian, a little more expensive. They all are more expensive than CCL right now, but down to $8 and still down that 6.5% and even more today. Nice levels. We've seen this gap down here on CCL. I think it was Morgan Stanley that foolishly, I think anyways, came out and said that bankruptcy isn't out of the question for a Carnival Cruise Line just because of the debt that they have to service those huge ships and everything like that. So I think that's a little bit of rhetoric. That's probably not happening, but some nice bottoms at $8. I mean, you got to wait till it gets back in there. It's barcoding right now on the 20 minutes, so it's just kind of back and forth here. And on the 1 minute, there it is right there, just to show you. You could see up and down here. So for me, not really too interested in these names, but always interesting to look at these cruise lines. Every day, it seems like 4, 5, 6, 7%. They tend to move. So good little look there. Thanks for bringing that up, Brendo.
Yeah, I'm looking at Crude. Crude is, in about 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes, 4 minutes or so, it's about to close. And we made a play on Crude right at the end there yesterday into the close. Worked out well. I'm keeping an eye on Crude to see what it's doing, but it's, it obviously rallied back from that 95 level, but it hasn't really gotten going since that upward move. Here, let me pull up the level 2 for you guys. Essentially, once we based out, we came back in. We've been here since about 1:30, almost an hour now, kind of working these 98s now, getting into the 99s a little bit of acceleration you're seeing in Crude. I guess after 2 days of selling off quite a bit, we are getting a relief rally here into today's close. We'll see how this one actually ends up. Keep in mind, 2:30, that's where the majority of the volume is going to be on Crude. It'll keep trading after 2:30, but at the same time, you're not going to get the same kind of volume as this market is now looking to take out 25. Yeah, starting to break a little bit there. Of course, Goldman Sachs decides to take off to the downside. Yeah. That's the weakest one. That's the one that, of course, would go first because, yeah. All right, anyways, Roku is coming off a little bit here, and Crude is going up. I'm going to see, at this point, I've got the offers out of the ones that I want to get out of on the equity side, so there's nothing else for me to do. I'm not going to overmanage or micromanage these positions. They're going to take care of themselves now that I have the orders out. But Crude, I want to keep a very close eye on Crude and how it closes and see whether I actually want to get involved with this close or not because of this rally. Remember, we're going back into that 99 area that I wanted to look at, 99 into 100. That could be a very, very interesting level to keep an eye on as this market now snaps back up to the upside.
Yeah, and here goes Oxy a little bit as well, just to make sure we take some profit. Oh man, I was waiting at 20 there on Oxy, so hoping that would come through. There it is, okay, we got it. So we do get that 20 bid there on Oxy, so far so good there. Let's hope we can get a little bit more action on that name here, back up to the upside as that's starting to go. AMD, unfortunately, again, the same thing happened to us, man. We averaged in. This is why right now, it's like, it's not really worth putting on, and I know you've just said that, figure out your positions, figure out where you want to go from here, but like it's not worth putting on big positions now. This is like way too whippy there for me. You're gonna have to use larger time frames now, right? So you can't just make trades based on minute charts. It's too whippy. Like the futures were just bottomed out there, and then all of a sudden, like look at this. Big move to the top, big move to the bottom of the range again, and now you're right back into the top of the range one more time. So to me, it's too whippy here. If you're gonna put on a big position, you should be like at a key level or something that you're really noticing in the charts, because don't trade around in the middle here. Like to short up there, that makes sense because you're right there. And that's sort of what we try to do with Oxy, give you that key level. Now, okay, back up to 25. So this is starting to turn out to be a little bit of a nice trade here on Occidental back up to the upside. So we'll see if we can cash in the rest of that one and make dreams come true to the upside here for Oxy, especially as oil right now is only down that 1% and looks to be battling back. Did I just get that? No, I did not. Okay. I thought we got a 26 there, but that's where we're offering right now on this name for Oxy, and then Meta still working to the upside. It sucks that we got again taken out there on AMD, breaking through VWAP at 50 there. So an out on Oxy, but or on AMD, that sucks because that's a nice little win if we would have still been on that name.
Yeah, as futures comes up, I'm using that rally to get out of my position here on Goldman Sachs. We're out now. I made like a couple pennies, enough to cover the cost of the trade. It's still going, but I also don't care because I've got two longs. Adobe is my strongest long, and it's up $2.60 right now.
Holy
That's
crap.
been doing well, so I'm going to hold on. There goes 50 on the futures, so Adobe's going to go. $3 now in the money on Adobe. Goldman Sachs, that's been the weakest one, so I'm going to cut the loser, or not the loser, but the relative weak long that I had there on Goldman Sachs. So we're going to ride Adobe, we're going to ride Roku, and then figure out whether we want to get involved in these futures now that we've gotten up to the 50s, which is the top end of the range. But again, stops going off. It's pretty obvious that where the level is, right? Let's see if the stops go off. Let's see if stops can, not just stops go off, but at the same time maintain strength after the stops go off.
Yeah, wow, Oxy really turned itself around here. That's turning out to be quite a good trade for me there. I hope some of you guys have that position as well on board for Oxy as that's starting to go. AMD's really the thorn in my side right now as that name just continued to go up there off that out. Like I'm showing it to you because trying to be honest, right? I mean, we had the name, got taken down there, and that really does suck. So that's that. But we still are, we're long into Oxy there. We're long into Meta up here right now. And I like, oops, that's not Meta. I like this trade here on Meta, 169 and change coming through. So, that's going to be a little level there. Debating just getting it out. I mean, do we really think that we're going to get that Fed push one more time to the upside there? I don't know. That was a good one. We're trying to go. Remember, we have the imbalances. They're still a ways away. It's just, that's something to think about. I'm not expecting there to be an upsized imbalance or anything like that, so I'm not like worried about it. It's just we got to watch out. Wow, right back down there to VWAP. So that looks like my AMD trade, except for we didn't get out, so that was good for us on that one. Let's look for something else. Is there anything that we want to short right now? I mean, Apple was a great long at 140. We wrote that down, but didn't take it. Amazon might be something to look at here as you're approaching that 115 area. 115's been pretty key for us so far on Amazon. If you're going to look here at it, I mean, the 20-minute doesn't really give us too much there, and I'm not, the daily won't on ours anyways, but let's just have a quick look on here why I like this 115. So, since we made that move down there on Amazon, it's made a backside move back to 118. But realistically, this is that 115. We only spent 1 day above 115 here. And is today going to be a day where we try to break through 115? I'm going to say no on that. So let's wait to see where we go. But I think Amazon probably comes back upside, and you could short that 115. Did that break though? That's the daily chart. That looks bad. Where's my minute chart on here? Here it is. Right now, how high did we get there? Yeah. So see, during that pump there for the Fed, we got to 115 and then faded out right away, and then went all the way back down to 113. So. Yeah, I think this is trying to tell us that that's not a horrible trade up there. So let's wait around and see if we can get some shorts into Amazon. But again, look at this market starting to blow up to the upside. So really sucks to be out of AMD for sure, because now that's 75.30. Damn, that sucks. But look at Oxy now. 55 cents and going higher. Let's go Oxy to the north side here. What's up, Brendan?
Come on, guys. X-Air, we talked about last week on a positive FDA note for one of their products. They make air filters, back to the upside today. On a further FDA note for X-Air, just broke out to the upside as well on huge volume here. For that one, 24%.
All right, what are you looking at? I mean, I just got out of Oxy, some there, 450 cents. It's a good win. It's a good average in. That was, I don't know what happened there. I talked about that was a keystroke or something that hit through with my order. I was just as shocked as you were for that one. But we're still using that 58.80 as the bottom no matter what. So there we go. A nice little move to the upside. We still have half of this position, but after I offer and get out, we will have 40% or so. So there it is. We just took a 50 fill as a blast, or 51.50 I think it was there fill. But nice little move upside for Oxy. And that is that, man. You have a bunch of logs. Airbnb is $93?
Yep. Picked up some Airbnb just recently. So that's up 9 cents. We got Adobe up $3 and change, and we got Roku up 26 cents. And remember, we gave up Goldman Sachs earlier. So I'm okay with 3 longs, highs being taken. The only thing I'm looking out for now is the potential for a false break of these 50s, because it's wide open for stops to get flushed, right? So we got to be aware of that. But the names that I do have, they're all solid setups. I like them, so I can withstand any sort of pullback on them. So here I am just kind of waiting for this one. And with Crude, I didn't really end up doing anything with Crude. It didn't do a whole lot. This was actually a quiet close for Crude. So didn't do a whole lot. It's just been kind of drifting up and no real volume coming through. So backed off, no trades on Crude. We're just going to play the longs here. Future side of things, I don't know for how much I want to get involved right here. I know we're above 50 now. What I actually would like to see here on the futures is come back underneath 50 into the mid 40s and see what it's got in terms of sell side action. If we come back into 50 and we actually can't maintain any sort of downward push, then clearly buy side strength is there, right? So that would give me confirmation that there's enough action to actually take a shot at the long. But for now, we're just going to back off. I don't want to go after the break, but at the same time, I'm aware that there could be a potential trade, but it has to do a few things first. And the very first thing it has to do is get back underneath 50. Second is to catch some bids underneath 50 for a second time. Then we'll get involved. But for now, we're just going to let this go. We're going to ride the other 3 out, the 3 equity positions, and we'll just continue this run out.
Okay. If I knew Oxy was moving the way that it does, I'm going to be adding Oxy to our list a little more often here. I don't normally put oil names on the sticky note, but the way I'm seeing this thing move, honestly, guys, it is moving like a tech stock. It's right up my alley, the way this thing goes. I'm going to have to do a little bit more research, not today, well, maybe tonight, before. Oh, I got T-ball practice tonight, so I'm teaching, practicing 7 and 8 year olds tonight, so we'll be doing that, but then that's only till 8 o'clock, so 6 to 8 on that practice there. But we're going to look at Oxy and some of the movements that it has, because the way that thing blew up off of that 59 there to the upside when the market went, that for me is cash. Like, that's exactly the kind of relationship I want to see. Plus, oil's starting to go back up to the upside. So the thing about when you're trading names like Oxy, and I'm only in 30% now. We're out of set. We just got a 68 there or whatever that was. When you're trading a name like Oxy or I guess XOM, like I said, I got to sort of put this back into the realm of trading here for myself. when you are trading some of these names, you have to be very, very specific on what you're looking for. And I feel like when you have oil as one indicator down here, and then you have the market as another one, it's kind of like when all these align together, you should be able to put together some decent ideas. And so that sort of did happen there with Oxy, which is why we went over there, wanted the long, right? I mean, what a great move from that bottom. And then plus you do have the bump there from Warren Buffett. So, I mean, there is a buy, sort of a call option, I guess, a little bit here on Oxy. Every time it goes down, tends to get bought up. I mean, look at this right here on the 20-minute. Look at these 57s, 57 here 4 days ago, 3 days ago, 2 days ago, today. So I think there are some options here, or opportunities, not options, to take advantage of a little bit of a move here in the oil patch. And I'm going to stick with Oxy. I mean, it has been a really good one. I almost asked you, Arun, on this play right here, but I'm going to hold on to it just because I think it's a decent long. I'm already pissed off a little bit about getting out of that AMD where I did. I mean, I'm not mad. I put the order out, but it just sucks that it went down first. But Meta, man, I mean, Meta just touched 170. It just came back, too, and could have gave me 169.40s or so here on Meta. And this is, again, a name that today we've really destroyed this. Yesterday, we were long down here. Was a great trade. Arun also had a good trade yesterday there in Meta, but 166.75 or so. We've hit that twice and definitely had a nice little play. And it feels like up here is getting a little top heavy. Let's hold on in case we do get a big one, but I don't know if you're already in all the tech names, so obviously you think there's some more upside here in the market.
Yeah, I like the upside in the positions that I have. I also like the fact that the NASDAQ, remember when we took out 11.9 for the first time and we took the stops out 9.11.5, came all the way down to 11.8. And then the fact that I was worried about the stops getting taken out, false break through the top and then come back in, the secondary bid that just came through that took it all the way back up to 11.9 again. At this point, I mean, if they can withstand the first batch of selling, the second move should take us higher. So here we are, 11.9, and still looking like we're going to use this old resistance level or old high as the support level on a move back to the upside. So the futures S&P as well just broke 50 not too long ago. Quick bounce, right? They went all the way down to 38.48. And then bounce all the way up to 38.60. So here we are getting some confirmation of the strength of this move to the upside above the range high. So I'm going to hold on to these longs. Futures-wise, I don't want to step in. I'm very hesitant to step in on these futures as much as I want to. I don't know. I'm going to have to play a little bit slower on the future side of things because of where we are, and I know what's up top and all that stuff. So I'm going to keep a close eye on it, but I'm not going to pay these mid-50s. And as I say that, it's at 63. What was that cross? It was just at 55. Was there a cross to 63 just now? Yeah, there was.
Stock?
On the futures. There was a cross of 8 points on the futures with 10,000 contracts. That was nuts, to say the least.
Okay, so someone is likey the futures
yeah,
right now.
Clearly.
Okay, so there it is. Yeah, man, good call on that one. There goes the futures right now. Bumping. There goes Oxy. There also goes our friendly giant here back up to the upside. And what I mean by that is Meta back up to the upside right there. I am not going to check out on my AMD because that one won't put me in a great mood. But a nice little move upside right there. We were debating getting out. There goes Oxy. Holy crap. We just got an 80. What was that fill there? 76. Like we just got a 76 fill there on Oxy. So wow, that move's starting to make some money a little bit there for us as well as that's come back in. So wow, Oxy, nice little move to the upside there. Meta going, and then the only one that's really we should have got out of, during all of that was Uber down there to the downside. But Uber just one of those names where I am going to come to the big board eventually and start to talk a little bit about this as our trade of the day and what we're looking for. But again, Uber and anything up near VWAP or anything like that, this 2180, I think we'll take a short there one more time. So still needs a little way to go, but I'm still holding out. I mean, that bottom there for Uber, probably we should have taken that. I mean, when I was doing some work before, I was really looking at 21, hoping that would come through there. So right now, a little bit of, I don't want to say it's bad luck because it's not. We hit Uber and we did it really well, but we're waiting for that bottom there from yesterday of 21 and change. Just feel like 4% down is good, but I mean, if you had a choice between Uber, and we don't have Grubhub here, but I think Grubhub, Proud was saying something like 4,000 restaurants. I don't know if that was just in a certain area, Midwest, Northeast, I have no idea. But, you know, if they're offering something similar, just on the eat side of things, that obviously that Uber's offering, I feel like I would cancel my Uber Eats. $10 a month, or that's what it is here anyways, because I'm a member of Prime, as most people are. Are you? Amazon Prime?
No.
No? Okay.
But I have access to an account.
Some people are members of Amazon there, and you know, it's be free now. So why would you pay Uber Eats when you could just get it off Grubhub for free? That was sort of my logic there, which is why we shorted Uber today, and I'm surprised it's only down 4%. But there goes the market, man, still making new highs here. Is it? I guess it is new highs the day. So market breaking to the upside one more time, and we've been calling a rip in the Nasdaq. I mean, for a while. I thought, I called the bottoms last week and or a couple weeks ago, got mocked, as I probably would right now. I'm not calling a bottom. I just feel like we need to see banks next week, man, Brendan. Those are going to be like so important to see what the banks are able to say about moving forward. So I'm looking forward to that before we call any kind of tops or bottoms here.
Yeah, so one thing I'm going to do as the market rallies...
Are we waiting for Brendan? What's up, Brendan, quickly?
Yeah, I was just going to mention, guys, quick note. Thursday, Friday, the main ones. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday next week, we'll get into earnings, as Sean was mentioning. Quick note on Beyond Meat. I noticed yesterday it didn't really participate. I mean, it was up, but didn't really participate as some of these other beaten down names did. But this was this morning. Beyond Burger at a Chinese restaurant chain coming to a restaurant near you. So BYND, I just noticed huge volume spikes here as we take out day highs on BYND.
All right.
Beyond Burgers?
One thing I'm going to do here on my Adobe position, as it's working near the high of its day, as it works that 384, remember, we're long in front of 380, so this is $3 and change. It's got a spread, whatever. If it can get north of 384, I can bring the stop in. I'm thinking 381, maybe locking in about 70 cents or so. But for now, we're going to let it work. As long as the market keeps doing what it's doing, north of 60 and kind of catching strength, and NASDAQ has picked up strength, remember, after taking out that 11.9. So now, as this is at the top end, the only thing I got to worry about on Adobe is a double top fail, right? So in the event that we can't get through 84 with strength, we come back into the middle of the range. I don't want to be a part of that, but I will protect this as much as I possibly can without interfering with the rest of this trade. So Adobe, we're going to lock in about 70 something cents or so in the event that it were to come back in a little bit, a couple bucks or so, and we'll walk away from this trade. But for the time being, it's looking pretty good as this thing has now worked into that high of the day. We'll take a quick look at Airbnb. Airbnb has been a weak one. I don't know what it's doing, but I'll give it a chance. But man, Airbnb, I might have to cut Airbnb just like I did with Goldman Sachs. The relative strength on Airbnb is not there. And I shouldn't be wasting my capital on something or my time on something that doesn't have the strength to get going. So I'm going to walk away from this and see if we can't actually get some offers out, see if we can't get a fill. As this market continues on, Roku is doing fine. Roku is good. Airbnb, we're going to walk away from fairly soon. And then Adobe is working the high of the day. Futures at the high of the day. NASDAQ has now crossed north of 1% on the day. So that's a big move after having been range bound for the most part. Here we are kind of making a final rally. For everyone who's been waiting all day, you're like, oh, this market sucks. There you go. Now the market's getting real spicy real quick. And this happens in the summertime when you get some news catalysts. Remember, for the first 10 minutes or so, it didn't look like it was going to do a whole lot. But just back and forth, and then we finally got some acceleration. Now we're off to the races.
Yeah, man, all good. And look what else is happening right now. Bang! Because there goes Meta, man. We asked you a little bit about Meta there, Arun, and there it goes. A nice little move back up to the upside there on META. Meta, taking out the new day high right there. Now $4 in the money on Meta. And that, I mean, we're talking about trade of the day is going to be Uber, but I feel like Meta right now with these double barrel longs now. Look at this name go. Meta, big time movement to the upside now, 350 in the money. Oxy, hey man, that's still in the money. AMD can go. Up. AMD just look at that. Look at that out. Look at that out. How good is that? You talk about NFTing trades. I think I should NFT that one. Averaged in, got out. I mean, realistically, in there, out, in again, and then that was what, 74.60 out, 74.40. Like, come on, man, 20 cents there when you're now in the money. What was this long? 74.60, $1.40. Yeah, don't show that one to my kids. But that's going to be a good trade anyways for anybody that had AMD. I like AMD. We've been long all day on this name, so we're still net positive on AMD today. So hey, good day for me on it, but yeah, could always be better if we just had held that, infinitely better to say the least. But let's look at that Beyond Meat. Look, I've talked about this on one of those evergreen videos that we've done about names that are probably never going back to reasonable highs. I mean, Neil Cherry picked it. I think he said Upstart or something. Like, obviously that's not going back up to 400, and he justified why. And there's lots of reasons why a lot of these names aren't going back up. Oh no, it was Roku. It was Roku up to 500. But I think Beyond Meat again. I'm even just saying I don't think this is going back to like any of its even recent highs on the daily chart. Like I'm not even sure if Beyond Meat can get up to $50 again. We'll see. I mean, never say never on something that's only $50. I mean, that is pretty low. But you know, why would it get up there again? So that's something that I keep asking myself. Like, what is the reason? Is this burger going to be the reason? I don't know. But a good bottom pick there at 21.22, starting to go back up. And I feel like, and I'm not going to be here tomorrow, but that level there, $31, $32. If you ever get a bump up into there, I feel like this is a for sure short. And the reason why, and I'll try to justify it for you here, moved down, made a move back up, right? Tried to break it, couldn't. The very next day was a solid red candle from $32 all the way down to 27, and then just more drip, right? So tried to go again, drip down. Here it's trying one more time, right at this level of 29.15. Now I don't think you want to short it, maybe not today, because hey, like we just said, who knows what's happening here today with this market, but that's a good little level for Beyond Meat. I think if you are in the put, call, you want to make a little bit of trades during that, I feel like Beyond Meat is worth the risk here to maybe get a put option back down in here to 22, 23, especially if you feel like this market's not going anywhere. I'm a shorter of Beyond Meat. Anytime you get a bump up of 4, 5, 6% here in this name, I believe it's deserving of a move to the downside. So watch out for Beyond Meat right there. And honestly, Meta at 170, man, probably, I was going to say Brendan, but your name's Arun. What's up, Arun? You know, I'm thinking that maybe it might be time to cut some of that bait. I like looking over and seeing that you're still in your long tech names there, because if you're still long and I'm still long, then at least we're thinking somewhat similar. But is there maybe a level where you decide to cut these? The future is obviously continuing to make that move to the upside, but a little bit of a pullback here on the 2 minutes.
Yeah, so I wasn't a fan of Airbnb's action, so I dumped this one. We walked away with a small winner here. I mean, it was, what was the point gain on that? It was 27 cents. 27 cents is what I essentially netted out on Airbnb, but I'm walking away from this. This long was initially good, but then the way it's been moving around, that's not right. So I'm going to walk away from this and get rid of that. Adobe is starting to now, after breaking that 384 and putting a new high, it's stalling out a little bit. It could easily kind of double top here a little bit. So I'm going to get some out on a bounce back towards that 384, or we're going to get it all out in the event that we lose 381. So I'm going to protect a little bit here. I might actually even step down a little bit just to get some more offers in there. So we are looking to take some profit here on Adobe as it kind of stalls out near the day of the high of the day. And then the other one is going to be what's called a Roku. Roku has done absolutely nothing. The slowest name that is still, in my eyes, still a decent long, but it refuses to move. So that's what we're dealing with Roku. After putting in a new low around 87.20, Roku has now re-entered the top end of the range it was at before the Fed minutes. And now it just won't move. It's got no volume, no juice, no action. And here it is kind of just trying to get through, but nothing going there. And we also have now gotten out of, not all of it, but we've gotten out of some Adobes here, right here in front of these halves or around these halves. So we're walking away with at least $3.50 here on the first portion of this. We're going to trail the rest with 381s, see if we can't actually get a move towards its highs. If the futures can get going, we have a chance. Futures seems like they've stalled out. Their kind of run has run out of steam a little bit. So if they pull back a little bit, we'll see what happens when we get below 50 again, because that's going to be critical, whether we fail or we bounce off that level. Brendan.
All right, as things settle down a little bit, let's take a second and rewind the clock, shall we? We'll go back to the pre-market this morning and have a look at a few things that we were discussing, getting you ready for the open this morning. Make sure you join us every morning at 8:30. We get you set with a plan to attack at the open. Sean is here. He's going to review, it was Amazon with the headline, but it was Uber with the trade today.
Hey, Brendan. Yeah, what's up? We've been teasing this on the main show here a little bit. Join us every single day, by the way, at 8:30, where we go over these notes, like Brendan just mentioned there, about Amazon, about Uber, about DoorDash, Grubhub, all that kind of goodness, right? But yesterday, we heard the news, or this morning, and so right away, we knew that we wanted to go short on Uber, and we actually wrote this down. Look at the 22, right? It's going to be hard to read my chicken scratch, but not great news about Amazon, right, with Grubhub. Should stay red today. So if you're going to look up here, this would have put Uber green today, right, up to 22.60. I was like, you know what? How could this possibly be good news for Uber? And you don't see it on here, but the Nasdaq's up 1% even right now, and Uber's still down 4%. So we nailed Uber today, right? And we didn't think it was going to go red. And then we said, watch out for this 22 level. We just wanted to short that. We came in and we were bouncing around a little bit at that 22. We can actually just go to the chart right here. So this was 22 bucks right into here, a little bit higher. So we came in today looking to short this name. And when we sat down, we were below $22. So we thought, okay, look, if we're going to put on a big position, let's just do it at 22 flat. So we let the market open up, and then here we go. So we start small here, right? We get a little bit of a bump up. Look at the time. This is 8:50, 8:30, things like that. Starting to get in position. We went up taking a little bit of profit. Then the market opens up, and this tends to happen on earnings plays, on like any kind of a news catalyst like this. There's a little bit up and down early, right? So here goes Uber. Look at that first wick. Like it goes down to 21.30, believe it or not. Then it comes all the way back up. It gives us, are you kidding me? Gives me that 22 short. Okay, we'll take that. And then it just starts to cash in, getting our first piece out, 21.70, 21.60, 21.50, all the way down here, 21.40. And then this is where we started to base out. So when you're in a short or a long, any position, you're looking to find key levels on where are there buyers and sellers? Where is that push and pull? So down here, demand, supply and demand, they didn't know how to figure that out. Kept trying to make lows, no. Kept trying to go higher, no. Then eventually it pushes up again, and then I'm like, okay, we'll take 22s again. What has changed? Nothing has changed, right? So we get it again, average, 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 all the way in. And then look what happens within the same, these are minute candles. Within 1 minute, all the way back in again. And then we start to base out here. So then we get some more out, let it go, boom, to the downside. And we are actually still short Uber. The reason why we're still short, we should have got some out there and noticed that this bottom was here. We actually talked about this on the show. Unfortunately, we had Fed minutes come out, and that kind of created a little bit of push and pull here. You can see some volume picking back up. But if I do a little bit more work here, 21 is what I've been waiting for. So we are getting a little greedy on this. I don't think 21 hits now. There's only an hour left in this market, but you could see where we started the day before. So yesterday, we started at 21. We had a huge bump up for a lot of these beat down names. So I was thinking that, hey, today, we should be able to come back in on some negative news. So Uber today, there's us going green today. We didn't think that was going to happen. So again, shorting 22, our out was going to be around there, man, 22.60, 22.70. So we had to be able to hold it at least at 70 cents down, which we've done here. But again, taking a little bit of profit, scalping it out. You can't be wrong when you take out profit. So that's what we're thinking about. I'll try it again if we get into this 21.80 level, but I don't think we'll see $22 again. Maybe tomorrow, but definitely not today. It's Uber. It's off your sticky note. It's off our watch list as well, and it's your trade of the day.
Who gives you insight other than us like this? Join us every day, guys, in the pre-market. We were all over Uber. We were all over DoorDash. We were all over Amazon, remember, with the headline. It was actually top of the list this morning on said watch list. Use the QR code, grab it, right now. Put it in your pocket for tomorrow morning. Come join us at 8:30. Take a second, guys. Great to see everyone with us this afternoon. Hit the like button as well. Let's get that going a little bit this afternoon. If you haven't done so as well, hit subscribe, guys.
Yeah, this is, the exciting part of this market or this trade has now ended, and this market's now back to just kind of
chill.
Float. Yeah, it's just waiting it out until the end of the day, I guess. North of 50. Now that we've gotten above 50, the level that we've been struggling with all day. Now that's what we played with earlier. Now it's kind of just gone, and here we are kind of waiting above. And what are we going to do? It all depends entirely on how we play a move down to 50, and that's all I'm waiting for here. If I see enough and a reason to go for the long in the event that we come back underneath 50, I get involved. If we just keep doing what we're doing, I just work my positions that I've got on the equity side here, Roku and Adobe. So those two are doing well. So we're just going to manage those two out for now. There's not really anything else that has gone off on the alert side for me either. I noticed that in the NASDAQ, in the top tech, only one of them is negative. Everything else is north of 1%, except for Tesla. Tesla's down 0.34% on the day. Only negative name in the NASDAQ top 10. What do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. Plus Google's two class shares, so call it top 10. So only Tesla is negative on the day so far. And what is Tesla doing? I know everyone likes to trade Tesla, and we've talked about Tesla being in a wide range on the multi-day time frame here. Yeah, still within that range, right? We fell off the 700 area up until 710. That's still in play on the short side. And then the 650 is down here, but the 650 is too far away right now. So all you can really do is 710 break to the long or fade a short into the 700s, into the 710s if you have a reason to do it. Apart from that, that's all you can do. And Tesla, the way it's been moving around, all it has to do is get north of 700. There's probably going to be some acceleration towards the end of the day as well. So there's a chance that Tesla joins the rest of the group and actually turns positive. The leader in the group, though, to the upside, like I said, all of them are north of 1%. The only one that's north of 2%, NVIDIA on the day here, up 2.1% on the day. So good acceleration through chips, which were, was it yesterday that we were really weak? It was chips, right? NVIDIA and AMD, no,
a couple of days. I mean, they've been super weak. So good noticing that. But the last couple of days have been okay. Yesterday was a good call to take the long on AMD, and honestly, man, now this is up to 76 and still going. Okay, update alert on my position right now. I mean, Meta, honestly, I can't do. Oh my God. I can't do any better than this on this name today. I mean, we definitely picked that. I mean, I guess we could have done better and held out for some of these highs, but you could see we did have a problem breaking through 68 early, and then once it broke through, we had a problem going through 69 right there. So we have two longs out at 69, and now we're in a $4 winner to the upside here as we're breaking higher and higher right now. I just put my stop at 170. Honestly, man, I'm taking that. If it goes there, we'll start our weekend off right here and just make sure to take that out on that move. I'm just beside myself about that AMD trade, but really happy otherwise today. We nailed that Oxy, man. We nailed that Oxy. So really happy with the way that trade's working out. And hey, look, man, here goes Meta one more time. And it's on, I mean, it's on the sticky note. We talked about that today. Any dip, we buy this name. I mean, it's exactly what we put on there. So really happy with the way that one's coming out here. I've kept all the sticky notes, and I was thinking about doing an NFT on them. Look at Rocket Company as well, RKT, moving to the upside today. That was on our watch list. I don't remember if there was an upgrade. Actually, let me just check it out. I can check it out right now for you here. Down 41% year to date. No surprise there. Yeah, Wells Fargo. So it was an upgrade by Wells Fargo today, creating Rocket. And you see what I'm saying about these moves? I just talked about this on Uber. If you could show the chart here. Yeah, thanks, Vaughn. This move on Uber today, similar to the Rocket news, except for Rocket, you would have thought maybe the other way because it was an upgrade. But if you're looking short, like, look what happens here. Rocket kind of doing nothing in the pre-market. You're saying it's up 4 or 5%. Maybe that's too much. Look at this. It tries to test 9. It tries to. It tests 9 almost immediately. It opens up down here at 850. Then, pun intended here, rockets up to $9. and then just falls the rest of the day. I mean, some dancing here, but you never get that high again and to the downside. So let's just have a quick look here to see what that looks like. Add text, okay. Oh yeah, we don't want to do that. See what that looks like here. So nothing on this level for the 20 minutes. So let's look at the daily chart here for Rocket. And there it is. Look at this. You could have said, you know what, I'm going to go short. I mean, I don't know where you would have started, but this 950 area, not bad. And if you're lucky enough to be sitting in here around 9, then look at the gift that you get. You get a beautiful short there at 9, off of a blowout top early. So that's why I don't like taking breakout longs. And let's talk about the only negative name that I have on today, Zoom. The same thing happened to me on Zoom today, right? There's the break of 123. I liked 123 right there, breaking out. There it is. That's 123 right there. So I like the break long. I take the break long, and I get stuffed like the Kembe Mutombo with the thumb wag, the thumb wag hitchhiking, the thumb wag right there. Nice rejection on the upside. We had to average in because I was like, yeah, maybe it rejected, but maybe it wants to hold. And then it didn't, and we got spanked. But then we take the long, we get the out there, take some more longs, and then we got accidentally out right there on that trade. But still, back into Zoom. You don't want to give up on these names. When you sometimes have bad reads, that's fine. But wait for it to do something like this, where we're able to take the long here at 117.60 and get it out at 119. So been making some, that was an accident, you guys saw that, but it was a short, at least it won. But anyways, stick with some of the names that you have. The reason why I called Zoom back up was just those early breakouts. I know you weren't in anything early, so yeah. I don't think we need to talk about breakouts for that. I like breakouts in the middle of the day where you get a little bit of action in the futures and you can play the market breaking out with your stock. When you take breakouts early, it's kind of you just like by yourself, hoping that others jump on board. When you take a breakout, like a meta breakout or something like that, breaking through some of these levels, like, you know, breaking through 169 to the upside, you know, but look, you do have some problems there. So, you know, just precautionary tale there of taking breakouts early in the market.
I'm just sitting here and looking at, and this market's up, you know, we're doing well on Adobe, well on Roku, you're in Meta. And I look over the side of my shoulder there, and I'm still like, where's Prad? Because I see Prad's login screen logged in, and he's over there having a full-out conversation. I don't know about what. I don't know what you're doing over at Prad, but you got to get back in here and start trading and make some money, man.
Exactly.
This guy's just chilling over there, doing nothing.
Good. I'm glad Arun talked about that. Look, there's a reason why. You're going to see us throughout the whole day. Like Neil, myself, let me ask you a question. Where did you eat your lunch?
At my desk.
Right. Ask me the same question.
Where did you have your lunch?
At my desk, right? And so, as we should be like a comedic act, I feel like. But you know, and again, we sit here all day, look at the markets. I try to report in there, and I'm just giving you. Maybe you're not giving Pratt a hard time. You're trying to speak the truth, but you know, traders can take breaks as well. So I do feel like
I went for a walk. I take naps here all the time, but at the same time, that's at times when you should be.
That's not during power hour.
Exactly. That's what there's times to make money, and there's times to not be at the screens to prevent yourself from losing money. We're at 3 o'clock, and Prad's over there having a full-out conversation. Come on now, Prad.
Damn, Prad. Damn. Getting called out. He's
made so much money, he doesn't need to make any more.
Yeah,
apparently.
or the other way around. No. We're just playing with Prad there. No, look. True though, right? I mean, I feel like you got to understand your own, and this is defending Pratt a little bit. You got to understand your own strengths and weaknesses to some point as well. And the thing about Pratt, and I'll tell you this right now, and the same thing is true for Ian and Luca, is that now it's 3 o'clock, so I sort of with you here, but they just were on. Pratt was just on for 3 hours, you know what I'm saying? So to go out there, catch some fresh air, Pratt, and come back and sit your rear over there and start to make a little bit of money. The best thing about trading, which is why I love it so much, obviously I've been here 21 years. You're not similar, but close enough to that as well, because you're only 28 years old, right? So, yeah. But
we'll go with that.
Yeah, let's go with that. the point about it is understand your strength and your weaknesses, and know where you fit in the trading world. And I think that's something that's super, super important. Some of us trade the closes. Some of us trade the open. Some of us sit here all day because we can't even leave. Like, I had to convince my wife, like, I need to take days off. I told that story where 2 years ago, I took 0 holidays and they didn't want to pay me my vacation pay because they thought I didn't clock them in. But then they looked and I logged in pretty much every single day of the market. So, but let's just move on from all of that. As we go, man, that's just some talk there. Be disciplined, understand your strengths and your weaknesses, and move on those, right? And like, I'm trying to do better every single day, holding on to positions. You could see $4 now in the money on Meta as that continues to make a move to the upside here. So, stay with your strengths. Meta, if it dumps below 170, I still feel like it's barcoding right now. I'm not going to take a breakout. I still do like that position. I down talked Beyond Meat a little bit there. Let's see where that's going. Back up to 29. This could be a good short. Remember what I said about Beyond Meat, though? I was really looking at it at this $31, $32 mark. Might not be the right idea to get in there and trade it today against news. So hold out for that. But I really like that Beyond Meat trade right here, $32, $33. I really like that short to come back in if you're able to do that on Beyond Meat. And then Uber, I guess we never got that reload there. We were sitting at 80, hoping to get it while we were doing the trade of the day. It doesn't look like that's coming through either. So let's watch out for that. I'm debating just getting out if we take out this 2170 area. So that's where my stop is. I'm going to put that in right now. 2170, it would suck because that would only be a 25-cent win for us on Uber. But hey, we don't need this to get back to the upside. So we'll probably take it out there at 2170 on Uber.
Yeah, I was going through the chat. Somebody's like, Arun's in Adobe. Who trades Adobe? A guy who's making money on Adobe. Because at the end of the day, you go where the money goes. It doesn't matter what the stock's name is, right? Who cares what the stock is? All you're trying to do in this market is trying to essentially make money for yourself, not get attached to a single name. Who cares what the name of the stock is, regardless of what the company is? Unless you're going to buy the entire company, does it really matter? So for now, Adobe up $3. We're going to ride that one as far as we possibly can. We took some profits earlier here in front of that 83.5. So $3.50 and change. And then here we are kind of moving the trail stop, right? We're going to move it through 381. I haven't touched it yet, but if we go through 384 again, I think I'm going to step the stop up here. We are running out of time. We've got about 40 minutes before imbalances come out. Market is still kind of working above 55, catching strength, so we're just going to play it as long as we possibly can. And Adobe, one thing I will say with Adobe is that because of the way it moves and because of how thin it is, I do have to be careful on 350 releases, like 350, the amounts at 350, because if this were to be a sell-side imbalance, it could become a problem for me to dump more shares. So what I'm gonna do is, as we get closer and closer, and we can't get 384 out, I might start working less and less of this position, or working out of more and more of this position, so I can see what that 350 number looks like. The imbalances, if they're positive, then I'll just back off, wait for it, and if it's large enough, I'll throw it into the book. If it's small, I'll just offer my way out of it, just like I did yesterday on Meta. So we're just gonna kind of keep an eye on Adobe. Roku, not a problem. It's thick enough, it's not doing anything too crazy, and the spreads aren't that insane, so we're just gonna leave Roku as is. Brendan.
All right, the other end of this Amazon, Uber, and DoorDash idea this morning, starting to pop up here a little bit. Worse off today, worth mentioning. Dash down 7%. Just trying to come back to these highs here. Just saw some volume, and again, 70 though seems to be a wall here for DoorDash, guys.
I can look at that because honestly, Uber's not really doing anything right now. So I think we could look at DoorDash one more time here as the market right now. We are now $4 in the money as Meta just continues climbing, like unbelievable the way this stock is acting today. And we called this, man, we've been loving that name for a very long time. So I love you, Meta. Thank you so much for everything that you've done for me and my family. Okay, Oxy right now. Changing the out. We took a piece out right there when we came back through 59.40. So we'll wait on that one. If that comes back up, great. I'll let Oxy flow. But I'm going to get out here if it breaks 59. I just don't want a red mark there. And it's not going to be a red mark. We absolutely destroyed Oxy. And actually, I'm up now more on Oxy than I am on AMD. which is crazy because we've been nailing AMD today. Long, out, all these beautiful outs. We were cruising when we started the show with like a $2 winner, and we were like, yeah, AMD. And then we screwed up, man, because we got in, and then dumped it out right there, gave back some of our profits. Still a very green name for us, but we actually wound up turning it around and then just destroying Oxy right there, back up to the upside, putting on a full position down here near 59 against that 58.90. So we put it on. Look at the risk, man. We're long at 59.02. It was going to be a 12-cent worth of risk. Our best out on this is, I mean, most of them outs here in the 60s, so well worth it. Let's see if we go here. The reason why I'm trying to flip this around a little bit is the futures continuing to go up. Oxy did fade back down, but then this is really the puzzling thing to me. Oil making moves up, and so to me, like, Oxy should be near the high right now. And this is what I mean about putting in work and sitting down and like saying to myself, what moves Oxy? What are we looking at here? What are some leading indicators? What are some lagging indicators? Things like that, because my logic would state that the Nasdaq is at highs right now. Oil's at highs right now, going back to Greensville for oil right now, which I don't like. Got to fill up the car, but actually we're still down, so it's okay. And then making some moves back upside. So let's see, is this just such a good thing to trade that it actually reacts late to indicators? That's what I'm looking for. Like, if the Nasdaq's ripping and this isn't, I'd like to pile in to make this the catch-up trade right now. So a nice move there. And by the way, did you know, I know you know this, Arun,
what?
But like, they don't even have ketchup chips in the US.
They also don't have coffee crisp. What is going on over there, guys? You guys are missing out
crisp,
so many good flavors. Yeah, they didn't.
What about, has anybody there? No, they don't. That's what I was going to ask. Lay's ketchup, like,
Ketchup flavored
so
chips. You guys are missing out. If you don't know, Vicky's spicy ketchup chips.
That's what I haven't
the
had.
bomb right
You
there.
mentioned that last time, and I forget where we were. I think it was a Subway or something. I was like, nah, I'm not going to like add chips on. I want to like, but they did have those spicy ketchups. Mm-hmm. So I think I'll try that next time. Let me know in the chat if you guys have had it. Never heard of it. Yeah, you guys have heard of that for sure. Yeah, see, people like they think that ketchup chips, they won't be enjoyable, but they're good, man.
Yeah.
Like, even my kids are super picky about everything. Ketchup, you can't have too much of them because, like, your hands, like, you literally go red. Like,
apparently they have it in some states.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, California apparently has them. But I mean, the entire
terrible.
country
like
should have
this.
them because y'all missing
chips?
out.
Nah, man. They're just like, Jason Tatum Flaming Hot Barbecue Ruffles. Okay, I'm down with that, man. I like the Doritos, the Sweet Chili Heat. There's a good one. Their Doritos have a good little spicy one there, but I definitely want to try the Miss Vicky's Spicy Ketchup.
Yeah, they have the spicy dill too, but I like the spicy ketchup.
I had the spicy dill before.
Yeah, spicy ketchup is way better when it comes to chip flavors. And coffee crisp, for any people that don't know, just Google it. It's a candy bar, has a very strong coffee flavor, delicious.
We do not have White Castle.
We do not have White Castle, no.
No. We actually realized that we didn't have Shake Shack, which is why in Miami, shout out to some of the people that I met there in Miami. I went to a Shake Shack there, pretty cool place. I like the
Isn't
Shake
it
Shack.
mostly Eastern U.S., Shake Shack?
I know there's no In-N-Out burgers, I don't think, on the East Coast.
That's
that was
only
when
West Coast, right?
Yeah, I was looking for some In-N-Outs there. Henry bars? Yeah, man, White Castle is life. I really like Harold and Kumar's, so maybe we'll have to throw back to that as well for the White Castle. Shout out to Harold and Kumar.
One
there.
trade.
Go ahead.
Go. I want to talk about one trade that I actually is starting to develop now, but I'm not going to take it because of the time of day, is the 87 break on AMAT. Keep an eye on this for tomorrow. I'm just giving you guys an idea. I'll be here too, so I'll definitely get involved if it sets up. But AMAT, taking a look at that 87s after kind of spending the latter half of yesterday trying to bounce up, and then essentially this morning trying to get through these 86s, finally getting through these 87s, and after trending down since 99, the fact that it's basing out back into the 87s, it could open up a decent long into the 90s. So keep an eye on this one. It doesn't mean it's confirmed. It's also running out of time for the day. So just be aware that this move is happening. So this was an alert that went off for me. And I'm just like, okay, well, if this happened earlier, I'd be involved. But for the time being, I'm going to pass up on this. But I am going to mark it off and work with it tomorrow in the event that we're actually still here. I'm going to be switching desks, so hopefully I can get that figured out on how to move all the alerts over. I got to move it to a USB key and then all that stuff, but I'll figure it out.
Remember I told you, I think you just put in your Google Drive. When you log in over here.
Oh, and then download it.
Yeah, just
there?
like go save layout, save as, and then save it to Google Drive. I think that should be able to work. But meanwhile, man, I mean, Like, I'm just sitting here, we're chilling out, we're having a great time. Again, thanks for Arun for stepping up and in here this week to cover Neil and myself. I'm not here tomorrow. Neil will be back in the desk, so it'll be Arun and Neil. So like I said, that should be a lot of fun trading as well. But for me right now, Meta, nice little upside move. I'm gonna use 170.50 now as my out. As the name keeps on going higher and higher, I'm just gonna keep this trade as real as I can, man. This is a $4 winner. I'm super pleased with it. And if I just give any of this back, I won't be, I mean, I'll be happy, but I feel like I got to take something out here on a move back down in. And I'm really, really comfortable holding this one against me. It's not about that. It's just, this is a really extended move. You see the 50 period here? We don't have any sort of a movement away from the 50 period. We did right there at 170, but look at this. We are well above now on this play. So for me, pretty happy again, like I said, with trading here today, with that move from the Fed, because it was a nothing burger. Speaking about burgers there, In-N-Out burgers, nothing burger from the Fed, although it's definitely started this rally back up to the upside. What I meant by nothing burger was just the action that happened basically in the first 20 minutes of that move, and then all of a sudden at about I guess it's 2:30, sorry, not Chicago time, 2:30 Eastern, the market just took off. And it took off to the upside, and I think Arun and I have definitely taken advantage of that. His Adobe, what was the other one you're in? Roku as well. I'm going to assume those are both working. I haven't looked at them, but Meta's been working. Oxy was working for us. Uber's still chilling out near the downside. And then AMD could have really been a pretty juicy play, but did not come through. Shout out to Playmaker there on the chat. I see you talk about In-N-Out Burger. When I was there, I was Googling it, In-N-Out Burger, and obviously nothing there. There's something called Google Maps that is very, very useful no matter where you are in the world, I should say. I don't know about everywhere in the world, but definitely something that I like to use, Google Maps, which is why I do like Google. I feel like Google needs to be bought. We've already talked about this heading into that split. So look at Google. Boris Johnson apparently not quitting. So there's been some call for his head a little bit there in British Parliament, but not calling for his head, or he's not giving it to them on a silver platter. He's not going to quit. That just came in a couple minutes ago.
I was just actually going through the chat, and I was like, oh, I wonder where Shake Shack is, where the closest Shake Shack is. The closest one is in Detroit to Canada, right on the other side of the border from Windsor, I guess. Detroit, that's it. That's all we've got here.
Stand up, Detroit.
Yeah, so, oh, here we go, Adobe. Okay, Adobe making a move now. Nice little acceleration through these 84s. Now trying to take a shot at this 85 futures. Also, we're trying to work the highs now at 38.65. Looks like a nice acceleration into the end of the day. It's taking Adobe with it, like I said. Now that we've cleared this top end of the zone, we're running out of time. Towards the end of the day, I'm going to start bringing the stops in a little bit here so I can actually protect some more of this. Remember, we protected against the event that it failed and did a double top. Now that we're getting a move past it, I can bring the stop in and work it towards the end of the day. So here we are. We're still in Roku, all of it, and we're still in half of Adobe here because we got some out in front of these 83 or around these 83 halves. So move the trails up, and that's all we can really do. Futures, yeah, that's what we're dealing with. After going sideways all day, here we are finally getting a move to the upside and new highs. The one that really matters, though, is going to be the NASDAQ, because NASDAQ has been the one that broke first. That broke that 860. Let me get a 5-minute chart in here. That 900. Right here on the spike, the initial spike, I thought it stops. We went down a little bit to the 800. Secondary move back towards 900, and here we are off to the races, 50 points or so. But this is a good thing because of the fact that NASDAQ broke first, so tech should be the stronger, and it is 1.2% to the upside. One thing I will say, be aware, look at what you're looking at when it comes back to the 26th and the 28th. There's a ton of action here just north of 12,000. So 12,000 is a big round number, and we've got some previous support around that price point. So although we're rallying up, in about 50 points or so on the NASDAQ, we're going to hit some resistance. And the equivalent is going to be about, it's not equal, but it's about 20 points or so on the S&P. So this market, if you're looking for shorts, it's not here, but if it keeps going at this pace, we should get to that area fairly soon. At that point, you're going to start flipping directions. You're going to start looking for some fades, see if you can actually go counter trend, look for some shorts if we get to that zone. and we actually set it up. So respect the trend, but at the same time, be aware that you're going to run into something fairly soon, just around that 12,000 mark on the NASDAQ futures.
Okay. We're getting to that level, man. I mean, 172 right here on Meta. I mean, if you look at the 20-minute chart, we got to try to have some outs, man. Yesterday we were long at 156. You know, like that's a monster move in 2 days for Meta, which apparently nobody wants to own. Yeah, we'll see what Meta comes out with on their earnings. I'm so excited for earnings to come through here. This next time, you have no idea. We are going to get out if we break down through 171. I'm so happy. This is $5 in the money on a $160 name, and especially a popular one that I know a lot of traders trade. So good move upside for Meta, but look what we're running into. Just like you mentioned there, possible support for the NASDAQ. This is what Meta looks like here into this level. So that's 172. We're right there right now, like 171.30. You could see where the long is down here from 166. So far so good there. Let's just see if it wants to continue to make a move up. I am now officially going to put an offer. Let's just put it at 80, 171.80. I mean, if it rips back up there, we have our out. I feel like it's wise to take a little bit of profit. Look, if it breaks back out there, it breaks back out. We only have 20 minutes until the imbalances. Oh yeah, Justin, someone named Justin. What's up to Justin there? I don't know where you've gone now, but said, why aren't we talking about NASDAQ imbalances? I don't know. That is something that we talk about all the time here on the show. So I'm hoping we didn't mislead anybody. But the NASDAQ imbalances, they don't hit until 350.
They all come out at 350.
They all do. You know, I'm just, yeah, they
all
do.
come out at the same time.
So, yeah, we are going to wait for the NASDAQ imbalances to come out. And this is what, if you're asking about what the locator looks like, this is what it looks like. You could see right here all the times, 9:30, unless something's recently halted. BBD, did that halt? No, this is Bombardier, so I don't know what's going on right there with Bombardier, but that looks like a halt there as well. Not a halt, sorry. Is BBD, I know BBD, no, that's not Bombardier. What am I talking about? That's Bombardier here in Canada. Banco Bradesco, so I don't know what's up
Probably
with
an ADR. It's an ADR.
Yeah, it is ADR. This is a Brazil ADR. It's just that's on there. So these will all update as of 350. So when that hits, come back and we'll see that. There's Uber. We're finally out of Uber. We got a little greedy on that one. There's our last out. We could have made realistically, we probably should have got out 45. So we give back 30 cents there on the break higher. Look at this name rocking, man. Uber back up to the upside. I'd still say shorts are here, but I got to get to 22 before we even look at that. So far so good today. Some big trades on the board. I keep saying couldn't be happier. Always could be happier, but good trading today. And there goes Oxy again. Look at these futures, Arun, man. Still making moves to the high side. Oxy trying to battle this. Futures are done now for oil. So, you know, you're down that 0.85% on this name. Looking at that 59.40. So I feel like, you know, this has been a pretty good move back up. Probably take another piece out, or just the last piece. We only have 10% left. I mean, we could just go back to like 1%, 2%, but I like to do in chunks. So we'll see here, back up to the upside, like 9 outs. So we'll leave one more here. Probably too many outs. But here it goes back up to the upside, 59.40. What's up, Brendan?
Just looking through a few volume lists here, a couple of little ones popping up to end the day off. This one first, Cal on the NASDAQ up 66%, some volume coming in at the end of the day. This thing had a little bit of positive news in the pre-market, but taking up 480 on a volume spike right now. There's also, I'll flip over to INBX, positive news beginning of the month. Hasn't really done much since, but the past 2 days, you can see, even yesterday, huge move up to 14. Just took out day highs there on a huge volume spike for INBX. A couple of little biotechs moving late in the day here, guys.
Yeah, as INBX is up 14%. Hey, you know the one name that was negative, Tesla? It's gone positive, now up 0.08%, the weakest out of the group, but at the same time, it's now positive, joining the rest of the top tech names and actually ending up in the green. So great moves. I'm also noticing in the top S&P, there's only one negative name. Actually, one of them is at 0% right now. But the two names that were slightly negative is JPM and BAC, the banks. So the banks clearly did not have a great time with this release, because if I were to bet, I would say banks probably fell. Did they fall? They fell, trending down all day. Yeah, they kind of fell overnight yesterday, rallied the rest of the day, fell overnight and into the half of today, and then rallied after about 2:30 or so with the rest of the market. It's trying to get back, but still negative on the day, down 0.37. Oh, Tesla, no. It was short-lived. That positive green was short-lived. Now back down 0.02%. So Tesla's still flirting with zero at the moment, but NASDAQ up a strong 1.3%. Adobe up 446 in the money right now, and we're not going to do anything with this except trail. We're going to see how far we can take this one before we need to get out. And then Roku is doing just fine. Actually, Roku, maybe I do want to take some out on Roku, given where we're at, or do I want to see the imbalance? I don't know. Let me take a look at the bigger chart here on Roku and see. I thought I had a bigger target in mind, but I didn't put the order out. I might have to worry about these. This is a 5-minute chart, by the way. It put a nice base in here around these 88s and 87s, but now we're above 89. And I'm noticing if I go back into earlier this morning, we stalled out around that 89.50 a few times. So it's $1.43, well, if I were to get that price, it'd be $1.40 something in the money. I'm up $1.09 right now. I might take some out here in front of these 50s actually, because I do have to worry about these imbalances. And Patrick asking me about a classic imbalance explanation. You got it, Patrick, because we're always having new people watch the show. So I always have to, we always talk about imbalances. All imbalances are coming out in 20 minutes, whatever. And it could be for anyone who's new, for everyone who's old or who's been here, you guys know the situation. But for everyone who's new, who's like, oh, what are these imbalances? Well, we have something called an imbalance locator, and it allows us to see what the data is going into the end of the day. So at 3:50, all North American equities release their imbalance data, meaning everyone who wants to buy on the official closing price or sell on the official closing price. So anyone who's sending an order with an on-close order tag, so all you have to do is make sure you have an on-close, market on-close, limit on-close, buy or sell, but on-close order tag. If you have that, you will participate in the official closing price. All those orders are put together, grouped up. Whichever side has more than the other, you're going to see here on this locator. So in this case, this data is from this morning. So LYG, sell side imbalance, 431,000 shares this morning as of 9:29. That's what you're seeing on this data here. And the paired value is how much of that has already been matched. So we have 431,000 left, 25,000 has been matched already. So that's from this morning. So at 3:50, we'll get an update on what this afternoon's imbalance looks like. And that's essentially what we're going to use. And why that matters is because if it's large enough relative to the day's volume, it'll move. Now, I know from our internal sources, there's some index action. And more often than not, these imbalances aren't going to be big. But in the event that there's an actual index action, like quarterly rebalance days or whatnot, we tend to have some movement. So today being July 6th, let me quickly take a look at our internal research here. And I noticed that CDK is being deleted, but CDK actually was deleted yesterday. It's already gone. CDK that's off. Oh, ORA and CCMP. Okay, so ORA is NASDAQ? No, New York? Yeah, ORA is supposed to be added into the S&P 400, and CCMP is to come out. CCMP is already gone, so I don't know what is going on. Okay, so ORA is supposed to be done. This actually might be done already. Why is this even here? Anyways, there's some index action in ORA. It may have already been completed based on what I'm seeing here. And then the other one is GTYH is being deleted out of the Russell 2000. GTYH. Oh man, okay, this should be interesting. GTYH, as you can see, this is the chart on GTYH. It's supposed to be deleted tonight out of the Russell. If I can just see how many shares we need to dump, just underneath 5 million shares or so. So it's only done 384,000 shares on the day, but this means absolutely nothing because given how thick these books are, it could entirely be matched right at the level 1 price. So those are the names: ORA, GTYH, index action. You might see some large imbalances on those names, but everything else doesn't have an index action, so it's probably going to have smaller imbalances. Probably won't matter. 350 they come out. 355 there's an update from the floor, so that allows us to see what the floor's interest is, and tends to be that they get smaller or they kind of just disappear. These imbalances do, and then if there's anything left that's large, that's going to be putting some pressure on the names going into the close. And that's kind of the whole imbalance situation. At 350, we'll kind of go over it again just to give you guys a better understanding of what we're seeing here and whether it actually matters. Because again, it only matters if it's large enough. If it's not large enough, who cares?
Yeah, exactly. And then also, like you were saying, will it get paired off? I mean, what does that look like? The imbalance is now coming out in 20 minutes. So thanks, Arun, for that cover of the imbalances. So meanwhile, guys, we are now out, so we'll go bang on that one. I feel like we did have this time, and again, I'm trying to hit as many graphics as I can here. This time, we go with the diamond hands a little bit as we take it out finally there at that 178 break for the 171 break. I wish it was 178. That'd be pretty nice. We got as high as 171.80. I look back, 171.60. My offer was at 80. So, we were a little far away from getting top tick there, about 20 pennies. That would have looked pretty sweet though if we had it. But there's the dump off right there, 171 breaks. We literally got like 98s or 99s. So we got a great price there on the out. So, I mean, it's right there right now. It did dip as low as 170.70 there on Meta, but you could see futures start turning. Oh yeah, and another update there, out again on the 50-period break for Oxy. So there it is right there, out on the 50-period break. Just didn't want, I'm hearing what Arun's saying. NASDAQ could be running into a little bit of high, areas of support or of resistance on the high side. So we'll dump all these stocks. And again, it's just, we're flat now. We have 20 minutes to go. We are going to look to get into some more trades, but for right now, no positions. And maybe Brendan's going to give me an idea.
Just a little one, guys. TTNP popped up yesterday about this time, in fact. Going again here, TTNP up 72%, just took out $1. For those who like the little ones, there was positive news on an opioid treatment for this one late yesterday, but nice move here for TTNP.
All right, I'm going to go up. I'm sure there's some questions, and there are some questions when I was explaining the imbalance. Edgar asking who is the floor? That would be the exchange floor. So keep in mind, these imbalance data, it does not include exchange floor activity or interest. So at 355, you get that data inserted into the book, right? That's when they provide the data. So we essentially see numbers change in a big way. So we've seen some large imbalance action before completely flip because of the floor's interest in the stock completely changing the direction of the imbalance. Remember, if the imbalances sell 300,000 shares, or for example, on a big day, let's just say imbalance sell side on a stock is about 10 million shares. That's the imbalance. You're like, oh man, that's a huge sell side interest on the sell side of the stock. At 355, if that 10 million goes and turns into 100,000, that means 9.9 million shares was taken up from the floor side and 100,000 left. That's the kind of interest you're going to see. And we've seen some larger flips than that, but always be aware, 350 and then 355 is going to be the secondary update. And that's the one that really, really matters, because if it changes, the way you try to participate all of a sudden changes. You can't use the same order types. There's like restrictions on how you send orders and what orders you can send in the event the imbalances change directions. And that's a whole nother explanation I'm not going to get into, but it's a lot more complicated when imbalances change directions. So it's easier when imbalances stay and it gets bigger. That's the easiest possible trade you can make, because then you're like, you know what, there's a lot of interest in this direction from everybody, from the initial 350 release from market participants, and then the floor's interest at 355. Everything else just gets so much more complicated. So here we are kind of just waiting for this. At the moment, this market's kind of gone sideways too. I mean, it is working through 69 and 70s, but the NASDAQ has gone quiet here, and that's the one that's been leading this move up. And NASDAQ kind of just flirting with these 950s, 970s, and we still have that 12,000. Keep in mind, 12,000, once we enter 12,000, there's gonna be a lot of resistance up there as well, previous support. So you gotta be wary of that as well as we get into the end there. And Roku is starting to accelerate, and I think it's time. I was really hoping to see what we could do with these 50s. Now that we're past these 50s, I'm gonna tighten up the stops. So in the event that Roku actually breaks back through 50, I can just walk away from it completely. So here we are, Roku up $1.62, Adobe up $4.88, and that's it. No more positions for me. I did my trading on the futures earlier this morning. We did well, long 20s into the 30s and 40s. That's it. I don't need to take a ton of trades. I just need to be very accurate when I take my one trade.
Yeah, exactly. You just need to find the right names and trade the right methods. I mean, yeah, stick with what you're good at, man. And we keep saying that over and over again. And, for me, I tend to think that we can pick decent levels. So let's see if we can do another one right now. What I was going to look at was SoFi. This was a name that Brendan brought to us, I believe, earlier a little bit. It was in the morning, and they did have a big, huge move up to $6, and then $6.10, I guess, off the early move. Now it's come right back in. So you're looking at $6 here. It's not as good as I thought. I thought there'd be a little bit more level here. Palantir is a name that I didn't look at today. Probably, I was going to say was at $10 and still there at $10. Again, a big move to the upside. Right now, trying to break a little higher. I like that break of $10 right here. Like if there was a little more time in the day, I really think that's a pretty good level there for Palantir. So again, nice bump up over the last couple of days up to that $10 mark. But we've already been here. This goes back to the 24th, 10.20. That's where we stopped yesterday. So look out for a breakout of Palantir tomorrow, 10:30 possibly there for PLTR. Like I was saying, man, some of these names that have been beat down have given you an opportunity to trade them. So Palantir right there at 10:30, that would be a good little take. Wow, Eli Lilly, I'm so happy that I'm long that name. That's really been working out as that's at 50. That's like the only name that's in my account that's at a 52-week high, Eli Lilly. A name that got really hit the last little while, Nike, obviously, on their earnings. I still will never forget that day. It was the earnings day. I think it was, which I guess it was this day here, where for some reason we went up to 114 and then tanked all the way. And I remember Neil and I were both short into that and got taken out because it broke through this 12 area there and we got taken out. And then it closed the day somewhere like down here, 104, 105. That was a crazy move for Nike. But again, maybe you're getting into some bottoms, and look at this little level right here, 106. You bottomed out there at 106. We topped out here at 106. We hit 106 the other day. I guess that might have been in the pre-market. So right now, 106 a key level also for Nike. So, that could come into play at some point. Walmart and Target I see in the chat a lot too. 125 for Walmart. Remember, Walmart had some big time issues there with inventory control, which brought them all the way down into 118. Sometimes you got to give it the 1 day, 2 day, 3 day rule. And look at that bump up, man. You'd be long right here about 119. You could have got long again. And Walmart looking to break above some of these key levels as well. The minute Walmart gets above 130, like, well, I guess this level here is 131, then you're off to the races on Walmart. So these are some ideas I'm just going through here. If this market can continue to rally like I think it's going to for the next little while here, especially the S&P now above that 3,800, 30, almost 39, I guess, 38,670 right now, so a little bit higher than that, and we'll go. Meta, good out for me as that's come back in there. Let's just check out Amazon, another name that we were looking at as we only have 12 minutes to go. Futures starting to fall. If there's going to be anything that we want to be short, I think it's going to be Amazon. We already made that 115. We talked about that high. I like this short for Amazon right here. Let's just, what does it look like on the 20-minute? Okay, it's not bad. I mean, I'm not going to give it up to 116, but Amazon right now against that 115 could be something. Yeah, it's not horrible. What is that high right there? 115. I need that minute chart again. 115.20 right there. Forget about all that nonsense. Yeah, let's try this. In case this market fails here into the close, looks like it's trying to give a little bit back. Let's go short Amazon right here against 115.20 or so.
Yeah. All right. I'm just.
A lot of volume here being pushed through on Amazon.
A lot of these names, though, even the tech is coming off a little bit.
Well, that's what I was looking at. It's just, there's a lot of, that was strange. What does it look like on the minute chart? Now, it's not really looking like there was too much volume there coming off. The volume's been, you can't see, hold on a second, let me just make this move up a little bit more. You can't really see too much here, but volume's been pretty consistent on this name there. But we are now short into Amazon. We have the 89 short, so it's just whatever, it's right as it is here. We'll see. I want to hold it against this 115.40. So the high is 115.40. If we're going to go short here, this is about 50 cents worth of risk. So we need to get it back into this barcode area, which I think we could do, man. 114.40. Let's see. Let's go short Amazon. We'll average into this one. I said that 115.20. That was a level for averaging in. So we'll see if that can come through 115.20 or so there on Amazon. But for now, we'll hold this short and see if we can print this to the downside.
Yeah, profit taking. It looks like it seems like a little bit of profit taking coming in on the futures here as it falls off. I'm noticing Nasdaq off 30 points from its high. I mean, after the kind of rally it's had, it's up 135 points on the day. So the fact that it's rallying 30 or falling down 30 points is not that big of a deal after an extended move like that. But at the same time, it's, for a guy who's long on two names, I've actually taken some out of Roku as well. We're above 50, yeah, but I just don't like what NASDAQ's doing. If it's taking some profit, then we could easily just kind of fall right off, and I worry about that. So if I'm in the money and I'm deep in the money, and I can take some out without affecting the rest of the trade, I'm gonna do it, right? So $1.50 is what I'm up, so I'm gonna take that. So that's what you're gonna see. Where is that exit right there? So there's your exit there on Roku. We've still got Adobe, we've still got Roku, the rest of this position. So we're just gonna carry that until we take it to the imbalance. Brennan.
Just saw this TYDE popping up on pretty heavy volume here, guys. I'm going to double check on a few things for this, but remember, this was that Vinco Venture deal. So TYDE just popping up on pretty heavy volume.
Yeah, I see Alan Atkins there on chat as well. Let's go Amazon. Nice little move to the downside. Now 15 cents in the money. Yeah, well, we'll wait to see. Hopefully, you never have enough shares when it's right, and you always have too many when it's wrong. But we'll see. Hopefully, Amazon can be right for us to the downside. We told you we were going to bid some out at 50. Then we'll look at the rest at 40 and hopefully be able to hold that. We'll wait for Brendan on TYDE, but I mean, we can have it up here anyways and have a quick look. This was a BBIG spinoff again, and it wasn't doing too much lately. It made a move to 4. I don't know where it came out that day. The fact that, it's looking like 350 probably, and then closed that day at $2. Then we just made a bottom at $1 today, and now it's up to 160 and change. So I don't know much about this name other than BBIG, so we can go over to BBIG Vinco Ventures and see that's not doing anything at all. So, okay, that's down 10% with tons of size. This is a name very difficult to trade, as many of these will be D prints, as you can see inside the penny there. So hard to make money on those kind of plays for me anyways. I don't like to do this stuff down here at $1, but that tide definitely running, and we'll just wait for some more. I don't really have any levels for you guys. It is moving. I mean, I always think a break of 2 right there on the daily, big move down, came out, hit 2, then faded out all the way down to 130. So tied right now. I don't know if you're doing laundry or not, but that's a big move to the upside here for $4 off a tide. Rinse and repeat. Use cold water.
Talk about tide washing out some dirt here. This market is washing out some weak longs at the moment, as profit taking is in full effect here, as this market has now fallen 10 points from its top here on the S&P, and a lot more on the NASDAQ. NASDAQ is down now 45, almost 50 points from the top here, as this comes back into that 350 imbalance. On a day like today, I don't know. Who knows what the imbalance is going to be, but we'll go to Brendan and see what he's got for us.
All right, there was this corporate update that came out this morning. This was pre-market, so this was the only thing from today. There it is. Just an update on operations through 22 and 23. Seemingly positive, but again, about 8:30 this morning. I also saw a pretty heavy call volume alert that went off through that area. So still going, guys. It did pull back a little bit, but yeah, nothing terribly exciting for Tide.
Call volume? There can't be calls on Tide available yet, I don't think. Maybe there is. Or maybe it's BBIG. I don't know. They're disconnected now from each other. But what's not been disconnected is, let's go again. Woohoo. Because there goes Amazon first leg. We actually took it out right here, 65. So we'll see there. Or 65 or 70. What? I just hit the bid. 68 or so there on the way down. We said that we were going to wait for 50. I mean, if you can, you can if you want to. I am taking advantage of this move to the downside right now. We hammered that for Amazon. Not hammered it, but we got a position on now. So let's take a little bit of profit if we're able to. Now on Amazon, as that's coming back in. Just a quick check. This is why, man, sometimes I'm like, why didn't I get out? And sometimes I'm like, yay, I got out. So right here on Meta, yay, we got out on that 171 break. Didn't want to give any money back there on this name. So really happy with that take there on Meta. Wow. So nice move to the downside here for the market. And we've given nothing back, man. We're basically at our high of the day here as we trade. But there's Amazon. Bang, right there. The money came in pretty quickly there. And I heard you say wow there as well. I'm assuming that some of your names probably falling down a little bit.
No, that's a NASDAQ itself.
Yeah, then that's
down.
what. Yeah. So I was like, I know that you're in some of these NASDAQ names, but what a big move down. There's Amazon, man. Like, you guys wanted an idea. There it is. And I did gotta give a big shout out there. Oh man, I tagged you in the chat, so you know who you are. And unfortunately, I have to scream all the way back up. You're welcome, man. Issa Desi there, thanking both of us there. BYND, I told you about that short as well. Glad that's printing. Thank you for bringing that out. And then someone mentioned Roblox breaking down through 38, so I like that trade as well. I'm hoping that you're thanking me for Beyond Meat because it's going down. Let me just make sure that is going down. Well, it goes up to 30, so again, that was a level that we liked, man. We talked about 31, 32. There goes Beyond Meat back down to the downside. I didn't put a trade on this, so I don't want to like take all the credit for anybody that did. If you hit that 30, that's good on you, man. I started talking about it in here, so Beyond Meat has made a nice move up. I'm still waiting. Remember, it could happen tomorrow. It's this 31, 32 area. That's the short I like on BYND. So Beyond Meat, don't thank me for that trade. Thank you guys. That was a good trade, but I'm waiting for 31, 32 to hit that short. Oxy, I guess. Not a great out as it's still above $59 right now. And like I said, need to do some work because as NASDAQ fell there, obviously Oxy kept its high side despite oil. So this is kind of moving on its own here. Occidental, a name that I'm definitely going to do some more work on. Shopify still down 2% as well. Let's just check back on Tide quickly. As I know you're looking at the imbalances here. Yeah, still Tide 160, so not much happening right here.
Yeah, there's waves and waves of selling coming through on the NASDAQ here. That's the only thing I'm looking at, just because I'm in NASDAQ position. So I'm like, damn, here we are. We've fallen now. 60 points is still counting off the top, and we're going right back to that 11.9. Remember that 11.9 from this morning, or not from this morning, from earlier at around 2 o'clock or so, when we cracked above. It looked like we took out stops, failed. Now, if we get back underneath, this is so dangerous for the NASDAQ because that essentially would complete a well-established double top failed breakout, essentially. That's such a dangerous trade. Those failed trades, they can get very dangerous very, very quickly. So we're going to keep an eye on this. Imbalances on a day like today, point up 0.93, whatever it is, it ends up, if it's negative, this ain't going to be a good look on the NASDAQ. I'll tell you that right now. 11.9 being that close right now. If we fall right through, this could open up to the downside. So that's why I walked away from Adobe. Adobe is already thin as it is. And if this market's coming off, I'm not going to hold on too long and hope that it's a buy-side imbalance for Adobe. I don't need to gamble on that. I'm going to take my money where it is, and we're getting out. Remember, 384 was a problem earlier. So the fact that it actually came back underneath 384 gives me more of a reason to get out. So here we are, 380 into 384. $4 on Adobe, thank you very much. I'll take my money, walk away from that. We've already gotten out of most of Roku. We're just gonna hold the last piece left. Remember, we got out in the 60s here. We're gonna hold the last piece, see if we can actually maybe get an imbalance on this one. This one, there's very little to do because it's not too deep in the money, and there's some support down below. And there goes 11.9. On the NASDAQ as this NASDAQ move accelerates to the downside. And this is what I mean by it can get dangerous very, very quickly as the NASDAQ has now cracked that 11.9 area all the way down to 11,897.75. But keep a very close eye on this as we get to these imbalances.
Market be going down a little bit right now. Good thing we did get out of that Meta. We talked about that. And now here you go. Amazon right into that 11,740. I mean, literally as if we have a crystal ball, but we don't. We have an 8 ball here. Fahad, what's up, bud? We have an 8 ball right here that told us that Prad would basically never get a girlfriend. Remember that? So we can ask that a question.
We need
again.
A crystal ball for that.
We don't need a crystal ball for that. Ow, more shots fired.
I'm always going to start throwing shots at Prad. He knows what's coming every time he comes around here.
Oh, now Prad comes back to sit down. It's okay, Prad. You just missed 2% up in the NASDAQ and then now an epic fall. Yo, chill out, man. You only do shorts.
Then you missed one big short.
You might want to change that methodology there, my friend. But there we go, right here. There's Amazon. If you're only going short here, be short Amazon right now or be short Meta. Some of these names are starting to fall back down in a little bit. But there's Amazon. Not worth doing any more damage on this, I don't think. 114.20. I mean, that just gave us that bottom. Let's just sit there on Amazon and take it, AMZN, just in case, like you just mentioned. Oh, crap, we're only seconds away. I don't even have the imbalances up right now.
I have them up.
Let's have a quick look. I have them up now. With only a couple seconds to go, let's see what comes out here on the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ right now only up 0.81. Here come the imbalances right now, brought to you by SWN.
Oh, no.
That was a big one.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, what?
Oh, no, that was so bad.
Yeah, the imbalances coming back in right now, big time sell side.
Yeah.
The market, actually, the NASDAQ only went down 0.1 there. BABA with a buy right there. We can see what that stock is doing on the 1 minute. Hopefully, it will show up right now, and we'll be able to see. I have to zoom in a little bit more on that one. Apple's a sell right there. So that created some damage there, probably in the NASDAQ, as Apple started to fall back in there on that sell and bounce down to 143 flat. That's what these look like. They're not too spicy, but there are some decent names there, especially when we look at, I guess, Philip Morris, SWM, and so on and so forth. There we go. I called Philip Morris the right one. It's not MO. This is Philip Morris.
Yeah, as the market comes back, not just come back. The reason I said, oh no, is because of what happened initially. It was an initial pop. These imbalances bounced from now 11,905 all the way up to 11,916 or something, and instant reversal 20 points to the downside. It was actually not even 20, 30 points to the downside. No, 20 points to the downside. 895 is where we ended up. So it was a quick flash up with the complete spin around. And now that we've lost 11.9, I don't know. This is not good for tomorrow, because that's starting to look more and more like a false break. Remember, we were looking at that 11.9 from this earlier today, and we were kind of keying off, like we were worried about the possibility of a false break earlier, not this late into the day, but this can become a problem. Just keep an eye on this overnight, because if we end up taking the bottom level, which is going to be that bottom end of the range for today, which is about 720, if we end up taking that overnight, that's going to catch a lot of people offside here with the long breakout to the top. So just keep a very close eye on that. I'm actually trying to work my way out of Adobe. Not Adobe, Roku. Adobe's falling off right now, so don't I look so smart getting out of Adobe up here when it's now down $2 further, right? So I'm going to try to get out of Roku as well.
What up, Ms. V? There's Ms. V's in the building. Superman also in the building today. Not in the building tomorrow. Shout out to Playmaker. I will miss all of you guys tomorrow as well. And, you know, it's funny because even like as I'm driving up north, I'll still be checking. Well, I won't be checking on my phone, hopefully, the market and seeing what's happening. I'll probably even be watching the show tomorrow, so I am addicted to this. And, you know, you got to take some time off, so I am happy to do that. And then there it is right there. Let's just spit out the money. What a great way to end the day here. At our highest spot, we just take $1 out there on AMZ, Amazon, AMZN, as that comes through right there on that 115 short, bang, right there. I mean, that's about as clean as you get for that move down. Check back on our Meta. We did try to go in and out on Meta there, but we didn't give that much back. In and out there at 170. But look where we got out. Just like you were just sort of saying about Adobe, you know, getting out something near the tops. We got to do that, man. And we did that research. We went out, we extended out on Meta. We saw this 172, and it was like, you know what? If we can get that, great. We waited for 170, 180. We didn't get it. So we punched it out there at 171. We get that price, and now it's all the way down to 169. So we save ourselves about $2 clean there on this move back in on the futures. So really happy trading today, man. And I'm just glad that everybody's with us, watching the show and enjoying the show. Hit the like button. We haven't asked for that at all today. So if you can hit the like, subscribe, share, all that jazz. SWN, again, I think this is a deletion name. We had this on yesterday. I know you talked about some of the deletions, but this is always on there. So we'll have to find out.
ORA is the one. It's there too, but it's on the opposite side.
Right, so ORA. Southwestern Energy is SWN. ORA there could be a flip play like you mentioned there. Yeah. Right now as a sell. So let's see what ORA is doing. It came out as a sell at 78, now down to 77.50. So we'll watch out for that. Probably going to turn itself around. Look at Apple. Like, this is what happens when you get a sell side imbalance, to be quite frank with you. Amazon is still going down, man. Looks like we could have taken more than that dollar. That's fine. Still moving to the downside. But look at Apple, 144 down to 142.50. Like, basically, Apple's giving everything back right now as we speak. Not everything, but look at all the work that Apple put in to get up there. Like, you know, back and forth, yada, yada. And then all of a sudden, man, as they say, up like an escalator, down like An elevator. I almost said something worse there. But that's a good move there, down to 142, and right now bouncing. If, you know what, like if there was more than 5 minutes and we can't hold past 4, but that's right at VWAP right now, I think this is a decent long for Apple, especially that you just made that move, 142.40 back in. So that's going to be a good move there. I'm always going to look back at this Amazon, but I'm still happy with it. First out, we talked about that at, well, that out was probably a little bit silly. We got 30 cents so fast. We're like, we'll take it. Then that's 50 cents there at 50, and then there's the break down to 114. So a nice little out there. But hey, only 4 minutes to go, man. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you for the likes, and thank you for the subscriptions. There it is there. Thank you so much, Playmaker. Te quiero mucho there, to Playmaker there. I did read it right there, so thank you. 88, his favorite number. Shout out to everybody, 88. Must be Ty Montgomery there as a Packer, number 88, former Packer 88. That's probably why you like it there, Playmaker. But I shouldn't bust you too much. He's a Michael Irvin, Des Bryant fan there, so Te quiero mucho there. Thank you so much for that. Mucho dineros coming through there. Thank you, Playmaker. Wow, what a good super chat. Thank you, my friend. That means a lot to us. It was great meeting. Hey, you know what? On that note, forget about it. You're going to donate $88 to the show here. I'm going to show this right now on Discord, not Discord, on Instagram. When I met the Playmaker himself. Where is he? Yo, shout out to Randy and Brendan. This was a fun night on the town there. Thank you to, oh, there's some nice shoes there as well. Thank you so much. Here it is right here. Yo, what a Playmaker. There he is right there, the Playmaker in the building. So Arun, if, not that you're ever going to need police help or anything like that, but if you're ever in MIA, we've got the man right there. Looking good there, Playmaker. Thank you so much for all the support and everything that you continue to give to the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming in hot with the 88 right at the end there. I do want to answer one question, though. It's a very interesting question, and actually probably a lot of people have the same question. What does it mean when their paired value is larger than the imbalance itself? It just means there was a lot more interest, of which the shares have already been matched, right? So at one point, there was this much, 3.9 plus 11.5, total of 14 or 15, and now it's gone, so the 11.5 has already been matched, so there's an opposing side. So in this case, 11.5 million shares have been already assigned to buy. There's 3.96 left to sell. That's all it means. The reason we keep an eye on this is just because it shows the amount of interest in the name. SWN getting a lot of interest. And the other one, ORA, remember, that's supposed to be a buy. It's a sell side of 1.1 with 2.4 matched already. So that just gives you an idea into the interest of the name as you go into these imbalances. SWN, Sean, like you said, it's there every day. It's like Visa. Visa used to be there all the time. But SWN is getting a lot of activity. I know nothing about SWN. It doesn't have index activity. Markets are falling. I'm done for the day. That's it for me. I got out of my final Adobe position here right at the end as the 355 as the, what's it called, the floor update came through. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm done. I'll come back tomorrow. We'll figure it out tomorrow.
Did anyone take Apple? I mean, we were talking about Apple getting thrown through there off that bottom. I mean, there it is right there. I said we'd take it off VWAP. It's a smooth 30 cents there. I know it's not that much, but hey, into the close. Not a bad trade there for sure. Show my Twitter, and it was a catch. Nah, it wasn't a catch. Look, Playmaker, we could just review, right? The umpires there, the referees on the field made the call. It was a playoff game. There was a catch that Des Bryant thought he made, which he clearly didn't. It was ruled an incomplete catch. So
where is he?
Who?
Des Bryant. I thought he would have a longer career.
Yeah, no, he went to Baltimore.
And then what happened?
Done.
Like, I thought he had a longer career than that, though.
No. Des Bryant had a pretty decent career. Yeah.
What is it? How many years?
A decade, maybe.
That's kind of low for like a top-end receiver, no?
Maybe. I don't know. I think he's done. Maybe more than that. We'll find out about Des Bryant coming through. Michael Irvin, of course, is who he likes. And Michael Irvin, I think, with Fox or something like that. Yeah, anyways. Okay, here we go. With only a minute left, man. It's been a big day for us. Thank you so much for joining and for watching, man. It's been a great one. I see who's on the bell. Everyone's going to like it. It's going to be Tony on the bell today as we get ready to rock and roll. I am off tomorrow. Thanks to Arun for filling in. Neil, the man, the myth, the legend, is back in tomorrow. So that should be a really exciting exciting day for everybody as well. But yeah, what's up, Shob, sorry, going crazy there. Congratulations, a new doctor in the building on the chat as well. But yeah, all right, here we go. With only 20 seconds to go. Let's go. Yeah, a decade is pretty long. I will find out how long Des Bryant was in the NFL, probably a little bit longer than that. With only now 15 seconds to go. Lucid, nice day for Lucid, nice day for Rivian today. But there it is. The countdown is now on, and it's Tony on the bell with only 5 seconds to go. 4, 3, 2, and 1.
You know what we're missing from Tony? He's not doing any dances anymore. What happened, Tony?
No, he's too popular now. He doesn't need to dance.
He doesn't need to dance anymore?
He doesn't need to dance no more.
He's too good for that.
Yeah, the problem with Tony dancing, he drives the ladies too crazy. So we actually had to tell him to stop doing that.
Gotcha.
You know, we got some feedback there. It's just driving them wild. So they stopped to do that. We talked about Rivian. I just want to show Rivian quickly here. Rivian today. This was a missed opportunity. And I know we're going to do this wrap up in a second, but because I saw Lucid there, I thought about Rivian. And honestly, this 30-50, we talked about that early when Brendan brought us some of those production numbers earlier. And I was like, if Rivian ever gets up to these levels, we have to short it. So a definite missed opportunity. I feel like we missed that on Rivian. But hey, what a good day. Not the greatest close there, though, Brendan. But how did the markets fare in this, what was a pretty wild afternoon?
Yeah, they digest the Fed minutes pretty well. Here we go. Positive look here, guys, for the S&P, 0.3, 0.5% for the Dow, the Nasdaq, about the same. So, hey, we'll take it after the past couple of days. Worth noting, crude did claw its way back to 1.09, only to the downside, was down more than 2 or 2.5%, I think, at one point. But anyway, for stocks, a pretty good day, guys.
Yeah, not bad. Yeah, you were just mentioning there, Bitcoin didn't really have too much movement there. At it was, yeah, people wanting Tony to do that. Yeah, good call out on Rivian. Yeah, you're right, Super SPAC, man. That was a good one. But we got to wrap it up, man. The trade of the day is going to be coming after this. It's going to be Uber. We did talk a little bit about that. I'm excited for the rest of the week, man. I think it's going to be a good week for the markets. Let's just see. Could be quiet, though, but I feel like the momentum is here. Let's just see what happens tomorrow. Oil with a big move today, breaking back down below 100 again, touched 95, and then made it way all the way back to 99 and end the day at 98. So oil's definitely moving around. We've got the man, the myth, the legend beside us here. Arun going to be joining tomorrow with Neil. So I want to give a big thanks to Fahad, who's back on the ones and twos, and to Lucas, who are both over there. There he is. Yeah, you will never see his face, although I think you will at some point. But that's Fahad. Thank you so much. Thanks to Prad, Luca, Ian as well. Thanks to Brandon for helping out with the watch list earlier on. Thank you to Brendan, who's right there on the screen. What a big day it was today, Brendo. And we did have a good wrap up there. Are you going to New York again anytime soon?
I doubt it.
Doubt it. I think you should go back, man.
The bank account is still reeling from last weekend.
Oh, the bank account. This guy. If I had as much money as this guy, man, you know, things I'd be doing. But
like going to Thunder Bay.
Yeah, like going to Thunder Bay. Yeah, maybe going to North Bay. Yeah, I'm going to North Bay, man. You guys are the ones jet setting around town here. I'll be going back to visit my friend Playmaker in the 305, back down to the MIA. But Arun, any last words here before we wrap this up?
See you guys tomorrow.
I like it.
Man of many words. Thank you, Arun, as well. He's going to be back in the building tomorrow. I will not be. Enjoy the rest of your week. For everybody here at Trader TV Live, thank you so much for watching. Join us tomorrow at 8:30 and have a fantastic evening. Ciao, guys.